And they qualify to the London finals.
Yeah, and it's a deserved one, right? I don't think anyone here is going to sit and doubt if Saw was the correct team to advance into that London spot, but I feel like they were, and it's almost a little sad that it's not the Lisbon coming in from last year as well, right? But I think they're going to have a great time in London as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, as Harry and Hugo were kind of teasing towards the end before sending it off to us, I mean, this is a team that now the RMR, now this run, looking good. They've got a young core of stars that are playing very well. The experienced players are playing strong. And just in general, as a team, they play smart Counter-Strike. This is a team that is going to be dangerous moving forward.
Yeah, and especially you said teamwork, right? I think that's what most people will say about when we talk about these guys. But I also feel like they actually have the individuals now, which is not the most common thing when it comes to Portuguese CS, right? They've really been lacking that soul talent since the Fox days. But now finally they have 3 new guys who's able to actually perform on a tier 1 level, and it's going to be really interesting to see how far they can go. And I will also love for Saw, the organization, to be able to extend all their contracts so they can actually continue this project.
I guess the question now becomes, well, I mean, one of the conversations we'll start having about Saw is what kind of expectations we place on them going into the Copenhagen Major, and then, you know, even after that, going into the London finals. Is this going to be a team that kind of hits a ceiling a little bit here and struggles to kind of break in? Is this the team that can challenge for playoffs? Where do you kind of place this team just off these last few events of the RMR and the Showdown and how good they've played? What are their chances of going deep in Copenhagen?
Considering the level they've shown, right, they are a team in the middle of the pack, especially when you consider the major. At London, I think they would have it a little bit harder because there's going to be so much at stake, and it's against better opponents. But at the major itself, they can actually get a really good draw, and they can get a good start. Then I think they have a great chance of actually advancing. Maybe not all the way to the playoffs, but I think they're going to make an upset or two against the better teams.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've already shown they can do that, obviously. I mean, the resilience to go 0-2 at the RMR and then come all the way back and qualify, and then obviously showing some upset potential here over a team like Cloud9 is some impressive stuff. I mean, this is a good win from a Saw team that's now even showing they've got a relatively decent map pool. I mean, despite a few hiccups today, you got to say, like, this match could have been very easily, maybe not a blowout, but a strong win for Saw. Keto is playing out of his mind. Keto won like 5-6 clutches across that map that kept OG in this game, and if it wasn't for that, it feels like Saw would have had the upper hand every step of the way.
Yeah, you said it. I think Saw actually is also the biggest grinders potentially. Like, they've been on this level for so long, and they just stick to it. They keep going, and they actually finally get the reward. On the side of OG, I really think it was impressive from Keto. Like, he's been under the most criticism on this roster. I think he was the one where we were like, why is he even an IGL? Is he just done? Is it his last step before retiring, or go even down to the German scene to a lower level? But he's all of a sudden looking like a prospect in terms of the IGL role. I think he did really well on all maps, and I also think we have to give a little shout out to Sound. I actually think he played well. I think if Heavy God was here today, I think they would probably have gotten that 3rd map, but considering the circumstances, he was actually one of the better players today.
Well, we heard from Arizdoce before the series began about how much it means to qualify for London and how much they want to qualify for another Tier 1 big LAN event. So now we're going to hear from Uterus, who's fresh out of celebration of qualifying for London.
Muteris, first of all, a huge congratulations to you. You've made it to the spring finals in London. And this is crazy because you make it to the major, dream come true. Yeah. We don't often see you guys at Tier 1 events. Your last big, like, Tier 1 event was EPL 17. It was a year ago. And now you're going to be doing 2 in 1 year. How does it feel?
Well, I'm speechless. We have been working so hard the last years. And it's like we worked. We lost a lot of finals and a lot of games that we could go to a lot of tournaments. But right now everything is clicking, and I'm just so happy that we made it. And it's great for us and for our community, for our organization. So I'm really happy.
All that hard work is paying off, my friend. I want to look at Ancient. You win both pistols. It look a very comfortable game. But then on this overpass, it's your map pick. You get 7 rounds on T side, and we think, okay, this is easy. What happened with your own CT side in order for it to go to overtime? Why did you guys fumble so many rounds?
Well, it was hard because we didn't have economy, and that we needed to make some bad decisions. I think they were for example, they are entering on A without spam, and they are surprising us. So
Yeah.
it was a nice game, not the best, but it was difficult for us because we didn't expect that type of game. But it was okay at overtime with the economy, and I think we did a good job.
Yes, you certainly did do a good job once it got into overtime there. Now, looking at your run here at the Showdown, you beat Team Liquid, then you beat Cloud9 2-0, and now you just beat OG, and okay, they're with a stand-in. Are you satisfied or over-satisfied with how you've played during the whole of the Showdown, and what do you make of this?
Well, we won against 3 great organizations and teams. So for us, it's we are like little guys here, but it's great. Of course, Liquid came from RMR, and with the travel thing, it was really hard. I think against the Cloud9, for me personally, it was the best win of my career in terms of impact, and you are playing against the guys that won majors, and they are an unbelievable team. So for me, it was the best game that we did. And the OG, of course, the situation of Heavy God helped us a little bit, but we didn't care in terms of we knew that we need to do our game and really focus to win. So I think we did a great job overall. And from a tournament that we look at him, and it was like a preparation for a major, because with those teams, I think no one believed that we could make it, but here we are, and I'm so happy.
Well, positive words from Muteris talking about overcoming adversity of a game they didn't really expect, and that's a skill they're going to need when they make it to London, because look at this team list. They're hanging with the big boys now. This is a lot of big, powerful names here waiting for them in London, and there's going to be no easy route into the playoffs and into the finals of this event.
Yeah, this is filthy. This is the best teams in the world. If we remove Astralis, right, and throw Mouse in there and Spirit qualify later, then it's gonna be freaking insane to see Saw up against those teams. It's never a context that was believed to be possible even a year ago when you talked about the Portuguese scene, right? If you were said they're gonna qualify for an event with all those teams lined up, I think they would be super happy. And it's really nice to also hear from Metizport, a guy who's been here for so freaking long, just said that it was his biggest win of his career with the RMR and coming into London.
Yeah, screw a year ago, maybe even just like a month ago, right before the RMR, you wouldn't have said that about the Portuguese team. And Saw, this is the bracket, as you guys have been following along all week. We can bring up the schedule. Only one game left to play, so there's no surprises here. Metizport taking on Spirit is going to be our second and final semifinal, and our second and final spot to bring a team towards London. One of these two squads are going to be booking tickets today. And look, let's just start with the obvious. This is an uphill battle for Metizport. As much as we've been impressed with players who are having good events, breaking out into the scene, getting their names a little bit more known and recognized, you're playing against Spirit, man, and they're a really solid squad.
Yeah, let's just state the facts here, right? It's the best team in the world with the best player, potentially also with the best map pool currently, against a team of part-time players. I agree what they've done is excellent, and it's crazy to me that 3 players in the middle are all attending school and they're the best players on the server. Setia also from that early NIP has really feel like gotten some experience to put in the hands of the new guys, right? And it's just an incredible journey, and it's gonna be crazy to see if they can actually manage to pull up a fight against Donk.
Yeah, Nilo's the big name we'll be talking about. Adam B's also having a great event, but ZTR as the coach, as the in-game leader, has been doing a great job calling for this team, and James Banks got to sit down and chat with him before the game begins today.
Now, ZTR, before I talk about the games and stuff, I know you as a very young and talented IGL, so I wanted to see what other IGLs do you look at, maybe that you like their style and you try to take into your own game, or do you just have your own way?
I feel like for the most part, it's always been my own way, and I've tried to find everything almost by myself. But in those rare cases where I do like to watch other teams or IGLs, I really enjoy to watch G2 now with Hooksy since he's joined, and also Kerrigan with Face. I've always really enjoyed the way he calls.
Okay, 2 solid choices. Now, looking back at yesterday's game over Monty, do you feel like you were ever pressured in that series, or was it just full control for you guys?
It was full control almost all the way. The only maybe hindrance we had was when we were down 0-5 on Mirage. But then we took a tactical timeout. Abdi gave us some good insights. And as you may know, we won the next 13 rounds in a row and closed it out 2-0.
Yeah, that was dominance from start to finish and a good turnaround. Looking at Spirit, though, this will probably be your toughest test you've ever had. And I want to see, how do you feel with having to deal with that and a very unique style from them?
To be honest, we're gonna take it like any other game. Of course, we know that like they're a top 3 team in the world. They have a lot of hype around them right now, but we're not gonna overcomplicate anything. We're just gonna go into our game. I believe we haven't done the veto yet, but I believe we will have really good maps that favor us a lot. Many of them will be comfortable for us. So I think if we just play our game, we will give them a good run for their money.
Interesting. Okay, so the vetoes haven't been done with the time of us recording this interview. So are you going to focus on their weak point of Vertigo, or is there another way you've looked at trying to win this?
Yeah, Vertigo is what it seems like, at least one of their weaker maps, at least what we felt like when we watched it. And it's one of our strong points. So we're going to try and exploit that. And then for the next maps, we believe it will be something like maybe Mirage and both Ancient. So all of those maps are really our favorites. So hopefully if it becomes that, we'll be really comfortable with the veto.
Certainly sounds like it could work into your advantage. Now, I always have to ask this. Some teams try to look at one player in particular being Donk. Have you looked at any big brain way to take him out?
No, not really. We try to always prepare for the whole team. And so, yeah, we don't really feel like he needs to be countered in any way or form. So, yeah, we just looked at the whole team aspect.
Calm confidence out of ZTR heading to this, especially with the focus on the map pool. And you can see we're going to be bringing up the veto process on the screen just now. He mentioned Vertigo, Mirage, and what was the last one? Ancient, I think he said, is the 3 maps that he'd be really happy with. And obviously, they're going to get 2 of them. That Decider is going to go over to Nuke. But Vertigo, Mirage, that's exactly what he wanted, Bubsky.
Yeah, and he was comfortable in that interview, right? He said that he's going to think that the map was going to play in their favor. I think it's hard to compare because they play completely different teams, right? But I think we've seen good things from Metizport. But to dare to go up against Spirit in a BL3, it's going to be a tough call.
Yeah, but you like seeing that confidence. Sometimes that stupid confidence is exactly what you need as an underdog, and especially from the leader, who seems very well prepared for this match. Another guy who's going to be well prepared for it is Magix over on the side of Spirit. They're going to be playing on the other side of the map, and James Banks sat down with him to have a conversation as well before the series began.
Now, I want to touch on Vertigo and the fact that most teams are continuing to pick this against you, like they feel maybe you guys are weaker on it or something. But for you, is it the perfect way to get extra practice on it, to give you official practice on it?
Well, I think there is not a big problem in the Vertigo because the problem is that we haven't been playing it that much as other maps we had. Like we played a lot of Mirage, we played a lot of something else, everything we played, but not that much official practice in terms of Vertigo. And I can't say that it's any like a poor map for us because everyone's saying it's a bad map for us because of one match where like Dunk was being killed by the Wise, but you know, it's like not how the things work.
And so would you say, though, that it's helping you get some more practice, though, because everyone keeps using it against you?
Yeah, it's great because you can learn and get better. And when you have practice, you can click your mouse better if you play this map more than others.
Definitely so. And just real quick, Metizport today, an unlikely opponent to have in there. What do you think of these guys?
I think they're playing pretty well because of the form they're showing recently. They had a lot of official matches I've seen. I think they played like 90 maps in the last 3 months or so, and they have great ideas. They have good players, like former NIP Academy. I think 4 of them, and what I've seen from like their match against Falcons I was watching, they're playing good and they're a good team.
I like that from Magix. He's just saying everyone thinks we're bad on Vertigo because of one map. That ain't the case, and they're proving it. They're still winning Vertigo, even when it's picked against them, Bubsky. It might not actually be a weakness.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken highly of Spirit ever since they went into Katowice, right? So I think the more interesting part for me was actually looking into the dynamic of this team. I feel like on a social aspect, they also seem to have a great time. I think they screw around a little bit with the anime and stuff and so on. I've seen them all having the anime picture on Steam, so it just feels like they all get along really well and just really want to grind and win together, which is just very needed if you're gonna play this many tournaments as Spirit is gonna be.
All right, well, the players are joining the server, so the match is just about ready to go. Before we send it off to a break, we're going to talk to you about 2025, the Blast calendar for the upcoming year. We know there's going to be a lot of changes in the Counter-Strike scene, so we're going to give you the dates that Blast is operating their events in 2025, so you can just throw them in your calendar. Be ready for some more news. Just the dates, obviously, not any locations, not any events or formats, but obviously good amount of time in January, March, April to May. Good 2-week chunks in there, Bubsky. Things are changing next year.
Yeah, it's going to be great to get a new format. I think every tournament organizer should look into trying to improve wherever they can, right? And I think Blast have tried a different format looking into the dates of these guys. So I think it's going to be interesting to look at.
And make sure you guys at home, you're tuning into the London Spring Finals, because that's when there's going to be a little bit more information about the format changes that will be coming up. These are just the dates, and you'll hear more details at the London Finals. Regardless, we're off to a break. Last match of the day, last match of the showdown. It's Spirit, it's Metizport, Spot in London on the line.
And so all good things have to come to an end. Folks, we have found ourselves at the last game of the Blast Spring Showdown. A showdown that had more upsets than we could have possibly imagined. We always want one or two, but this whole bracket seems to have been upended. And now that me and Mohan are taking over, first and foremost, congratulations, Saw. Really cool that they will be qualifying for London. And then, of course, we've got Spirit versus Metizport as the last game tonight. Fair to say, very lopsided in terms of odds and expectations.
Definitely. And yeah, it's a bit of indication, I guess, for Liquid to lose to Saw, for the other teams to lose to Saw, because Saw are getting some respect now, which is really good. And then the same thing goes for Metizport, who it was pretty embarrassing for Simple in his debut to, like, you know, have a 0.9 rating versus this Swedish team that a lot of people hadn't heard of. But now we see them actually competing for a spot of the fall final, and there's some stories starting to pop up with Nilo. Adam B has actually been the rating leader for this team across all their series, so low-key the one that we want to be talking about. But they have earned their spot in this position as well. Unfortunately for Metizport, this is the hard side of the bracket. This is Spirit, who haven't really shown any big flaws yet, besides maybe Shiro having like one off map and Spirit being a little lazy on Anubis. So maybe there's a chance Metizport make this interesting, but I'll still take Spirit. I still think this would be a 2-1.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that, you know, we kind of have a lot of parallels, I'd say, to draw between Big and Metizport in that regard, where it's like we just want a game that's going to get competitive. And yesterday, out of nowhere, after a 10-2 half from Spirit on Anubis, we did get that interesting back and forth, that near run back out of all German Big. So I'm not willing to write off Metizport. I think online, plus their comfort in this realm of Counter-Strike, plus, you know, at times, like you said, laziness, perhaps, right? When that big lead is happening, you suddenly let your foot off the pedal and the opponents get back in. All these things could happen with Metizport as well. I have learned not to write them off at Showdown, but let's be real. We're talking about Kato champions. We're talking about a team that some have painted to be in the major grand final, if not to win it. You know, this is a team that has left a very real impression on the entire community in the last couple months. So let's get it. Into the B site, we've got 4 defenders nearby. We've got the entirety of Spirit coming at it, and ZTR kicks this off nicely with 1 frag. Susp, next to Tetris, drops bomb, and it gets a little stalled out here by the T's. That smoke grenade front sight does a great job of sectioning them. Susp still playing where he got his kill. He's got support behind him. The fact they have possession of that bomb slows everything down.
Looking for one weird headshot.
All they need, right? All they need, one headshot other way. T's start to bring it back over towards Default. Another one, and Chopper with Donk both hit their kills. We saw this back and forth, but hold up, team kill. Donk gotta make up for that one. 50 seconds. Oh, Donk. USP's empty. Donk's not clean with it, and Adam wins the clutch.
Oh my God, he won that 1v1. Donk, he didn't hit a bullet until he had to reload. That's actually so uncharacteristic. I mean, the only reason I know he missed those bullets, I was just seeing that from the other perspective, whizzing by his head. But nearly bringing back the 3v4 is one thing, but there was definitely a lot of ammo used this round. Spirit not as clean of a start as you would expect, so it got interesting. But all Adam cares about is they come away with a victory and a good start to the series.
We had a crazy performance from Chopper versus Big on this exact map yesterday. Just dominating the server. Felt like he had found the solution to the apparent Spirit Vertigo woes. Just do it yourself. Can't hold a good man down.
No kidding. He was 24-5.
An animal. This time Adam B's gonna farm a couple freebies. There's a last player behind Yellow Tarp. The P250 could be good for 1 or 2, but off the mark. Shiro gets a little labored and 4 survive here for the Metizport conversion.
Virtus Pro. Vertigo is a great place to start versus Spirit, and maybe a level up even from Big, where we can sort of re-examine the question of whether or not Spirit will have some flaws. Again, that's a second half question with just talking about the B site. So we'll see if Metizport can really make this competitive or even win. And then it would be a situation where Spirit would have 2 losses out of their last 6 games on Vertigo, which is technically makes it the worst map in their pool.
Gets back to legitimizing what people flagged as their biggest weakness. because they've been stopping that conversation as of late. Nice chopper.
Nice.
Last bullet out of the 3-bullet burst just zings sus between the eyes.
That is
And
zoning.
we got the 4v4 back.
Really cool. We saw Chopper get a lot of actual like, blind kills. I think that was his specialty in the last series. It was like holding an angle, eats a great flash into perfect spray control while he's blind.
He gets
More than once. Yeah.
Donk this round got dinked for 96, which means he ate it. And then naded from 4 health to 1. Just can't kill this kid. His 3rd life in the round as his teammates fall towards the B site. Bomb with him and Magix. They just left the bomb. Unless it's drop top mid, but that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, are they forgetting? It's also a little sloppy. They're going to go back and get it now. 1 health donk.
Nice
And a good reaction. Oh, another good kill with the flash. That's Nilo showing us the better way to I don't know who it was the other day who was playing there and allowed someone to jump up over the wood and just clear them slowly and just kill them without any reaction, but Nilo had a better angle for that.
Donk gets to save the Galil because he left for that bomb, but it's also why they didn't have anybody to trade if they tried to climb over the wood. Not saying the odds were there for Spirit to bring it back, but it certainly took the wind out of the sails. Nice B aggression out of Sus, and then the jump over from Nilo for the double.
Yeah, solid reaction with cover.
And it was the T-side particularly versus Big that Spirit just dismantled them with. You know, we were making a joke that the solution to their CT struggles
Never playing
rounds.
it.
Pistol, full conversions. And Spirit, of course, that counted as the first gun round. Tech9's here, number 4. Funnily enough, after all that lining up, Magix doesn't even throw the Molotov. Hangs onto it to bring it towards ramp instead. There's the spot from Adam B trying to crawl back quietly. Doesn't get scared off by that, what felt like sudden rush, but then Spirit themselves fall silent.
Yeah, they ran up and tried to elicit some Molotovs or counter reaction, but it's a short push without utility. It's going to get him a kill.
Rushing the smoke grenade. Oh, and catching Donk with some damage, but he survives it. Second player in ZTR to replace the first.
Oh my god.
Donk
This is the move.
just turned away. Beautifully done from ZTR. It does flush them out into the site, but there's more CTs where the first one came from. Shiro's Tech 901 and done. And Metizport off of that ZTR flank, an excellent close on the solo rifle round.
I mean, that's great. That had a lot to do with the fact that it was their own smoke they threw, and there was no actual knowledge that he was there behind it. But they know at that point in the round, they can't go for a full split anymore onto the site. So ZTR cleverly just pushes through when it's really late, and Spirit don't have the manpower or utility or time to counter everything. Both coaches going off right now. For Hallie to get Spirit back on track, it'll definitely take some wise words. Again, this is like the most off I think they've looked to start a game off here at the Showdown.
Yep, that's fair. I mean, there have been a lot of 10-2 first halves, so
yeah,
it's not even close to the heat that they've brought to most of the starting halves. Still plenty of runway at this point. Second gun round comes out from Spirit in the 5th. Donk hunting for the opening A. Could have been a chance there for the scoped op to catch the player passing, but AWP a little off the mark. Deep smoke comes down. CT is falling back as well from the more forward spots they had.
You think Simple is vindicated if Metizport win this series?
No.
Yeah. My next YouTube video is, will Simple Falcons work? Not gonna spoil it though.
I'm waiting for the release date. And for his return to the server, you know? Everyone's allowed to have a bad game.
Yeah.
Here comes the volley over the ramp. So good group up from Spirit, getting back towards A before the CTs can overstack it. There's 3 here. Adam's angle to catch somebody off. No, sir. Shiro predicting it as he comes around. Ends up just being a free frag instead. Donk eyes over, holds CT shelf, spam to Magic, and he gets away with the plant.
You're kidding.
He even gets away with the fallback, and Donk's gonna lock into an unorthodox
Creepiest angle.
Playing in the danger zone. Zontix draws the attention away towards short, sets up Donk wonderfully. He climbs back over the fence, him and Zontix. Gonna make sure the retake has no chance.
The way that Magix even stayed alive while he was planting that bomb was special. But I think half his body was covered while he was trying to plant, so it looked a little bit more crazy than it was. Oh man. Definitely the way they got some of these kills, it was close. But Zontix, that's his first 2 of the map, so when they needed it.
Made easier by this Shiro AWP. That's somebody that, you know, in Showdown specifically, we're waiting for the big highlight moment. But things have gone so well, of course. Like, what are we going to do? Criticize him for not carrying every game?
It's... And at Kato, like, it was all about Donk's numbers, but Zontix and Shiro had, like, 1.30 ratings almost in the tournament. It just wasn't close to the... whatever rating Donk had. 1.71 or whatever. But Shiro on Anubis versus Big, he was 8-20, I think. You know, he was like 8-25 or something. That was one of his worst maps, actually, so far.
That one was a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Luckily, they closed
something here. Looking for something to hate on. You know, I just want to grasp onto something to hate.
Of course you do.
Grasping for
so
straws.
in right now, you know?
Yeah, it is.
All the rage.
It sells.
Suspect sight. Molotov gets put out, so he's got this nice pocket behind the smoke to play from, where he's even got vision around the sides, but he seems to have lost track of Zontix. He gets to the left side. Nilo, he'll trade out Shiro instead, so they know this player's close, but that's Zontix over top of it, and ZTR slides out from construction to get us back 2v2. Chopper pinned on quad. Magix has to come up, looking for the post plant, but they've lost track of him in the sight. Perfectly played from Chopper, serves up the distraction. Adams covers good,
wow.
But Chopper's 2-piece is better.
Dude, shout out to that angle. I would have been so nervous having my gun sticking out on the right side, holding right side generator with 2 players alive. So that was the right risk to take. The upside for him is that even if they spotted him, they'd have to go very wide to get damage in. So maybe he didn't care. And as we could see also, the teammate that was coming up left side didn't seem to have view of him at all. So real good move there from Chopper. And again, individually, he's been a menace for Spirit in the Showdown too. On Vertigo. Big chop, Connor.
The biggest of choppers.
Connor's not okay with this nickname. He doesn't want Chopper to be called Big, what was it? Papa Chop? What was
Uncle
it?
Chop Chop.
Uncle Chop Chop.
Yeah.
I get that.
I just, you know. Let's at least call him like Black Hawk.
Yeah. Right, like a helicopter, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little cooler, isn't it?
Yeah, or like Chopper. Chopper is just slang for... I actually don't even know what gun it's slang for. I guess an AK, but... I'm not in America with weapons, but yeah, AK.
It's also slang for motorcycles, or it's a type of motorcycle.
Yeah, true.
I don't ride a motorcycle. I'm not Maniac.
True. It'd be like a Harley, right? Like one of those big boys. Like, that's the kind of bike you'd expect to see Chopper on.
Damn right. Seems weird even when he holds a pistol. You know, it's not big enough for the guy. Speaking of pistols, Nilo, calm down, bud. 2 kills on the 5-7. Chopper will catch him. Magic sliding down. He's going to get a player backing up into a freebie for Magix. Magix can be such a fun player. Sometimes it's like we switch to Magic's perspective, and I'm confused as to how he gets to some of the positions he does. A slippery one. The weasel of spirit in all the best ways.
Maybe I should read some of his post-match tweets, because he had some interesting ones. Like, there was one where he said NT to Cadian after he beat...
Heroic.
Heroic. And last night he had Donk is greater than Searson speaking German in his bedroom in the dark. That was his post-match tweet yesterday. And... that's about it. He doesn't tweet very much. So only bangers when he does.
You are the Magic's whisperer. I know you guys have a special relationship. So what do you make of all this?
About his tweets?
If you can translate it, you know, it's supposed... if you can make sense of it all, it's supposed to be you. Why would he tag Cadian? What's he up to?
I mean,
what's he getting?
I don't know. I actually don't know. Such
a mysterious character, Magic.
Because I think the last time we even like hung out was at Red Bull Flick Isa. In Helsinki in 2021.
Yeah, where you don't get frags, but you get dematerializations.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dematerialization. Syllables, guys.
Zontic slides up on B. He's working with Magix, and they make contact with the back quad player. 2 in there. That ain't a solo B hold. Adam B in the danger zone. Careful. Chopper's approaching. Oh, nice kill from ZTR. He's been pretty solid on this short side of the A site. Nice peek. Oh my god. Oh, perfect nade. Nilo flashing both of the B lurkers. And this round suddenly evaporates in front of Spirit before they realize what's going on.
That was some good counterplay going on that side of the map, man, with those flashes. Doesn't matter who's throwing them, apparently. See if any shoulders are happening here. Shiro Julienning these angles, approaching the site. And Donk trying to get something to move. Is he going all the way through the smoke?
No, sir.
He was pretending.
Not getting through it at all. Shiro to the clutch with the 25. Bomb on his back. Yeah, let's hope they just let you hide.
Yikes, he can't just sit here.
He's toast. Sweep from Metizport, and it honestly, my favorite piece of all that's the beautiful flashbang towards B steps.
Seriously, that was perfect pop, and sometimes it's Neil up front. Apparently, sometimes it's Susp. Another tack timeout. As Alex like, okay, guys, the fun's over. With all the spirit cams, it's so hard to tell who's where, like if they're in the same room or not.
Yeah, definitely a boot.
Like, oh, Magix and Hallie are in the same room because they have the same couch. Oh, no, never mind.
It's Magix and Chopper, I'm convinced.
And is Shiro in the same open room?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Shiro. That was who I meant. Third. Safe to say Donk in his little dark dungeon is somewhere separate.
Yeah.
Or they've just got him in the utility closet here at the office. One of the two. Like a Harry Potter situation.
That's how they keep him hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't give him everything.
Yeah, they said they call me the monster, so they keep him under the stairs. Full investment out of Spirit here. Trying to catch up to the Metizport 5-round CT half. Bomb's been left back at spawn. We get a little crawl out top middle. Donk and Magix combining. This time it was Magix and Zontix who got flashed at B stairs perfectly last round. Magix got a new dance partner and a new route. This time leading it forward through middle. Jaquinho's about to come for the peak. Magic's gonna go over the top. But he plays with it a little.
Everyone's coming in to fight this.
Yep. CT, nice reaction over Khan. They said, if you don't come to me, I'll come to you. And Donk trades one back. Zontix pushing out, opening the B site as that construction player was peeled away to help. So very good timing for Spirit to get in as they created that pocket in middle that soaked up all the attention. Zontix.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 missed jumps.
So much noise. Molly, they do get the plant off, but it costs them Chopper. And they used that smoke against him. That was the smoke they used literally just to pull the jump up off.
Wonderfully done. Nice clean advantage in the 1v3. Zontix better hope the first one is an instant headshot. Adam B's gonna get smoked off. He's already on the bomb as well. So Zontix does nothing in the clutch here as Metizport go up 6-3.
Yeah, man, that was well earned. And once again, a touch sloppy here from Spirit. Now, there is obviously that clipping issue right now in CS2, so it could have been that he made a perfectly fine jump, but just couldn't get up there. Gotta keep that in mind. But Adam B shows him how it's done. And a touch of irony as he uses their own smoke on him. How do you like them apples?
Shout out ZTR one time. His apartment has gotten progressively cleaner as the event has gone on, and it looks
really
spick and span at the moment. Yeah, go watch the first match. There was pots on the counter.
Oh, okay.
You know,
as they win more?
Table had some... Yeah, exactly. He's like, wait a second, I'm a professional.
All right, let's go.
Need a clean workspace to be putting up rounds like this. Calling a good game, but the Tech9s have a... Oh! Real chance. Donk through the smoke with the second kill, but then, of course, nice cleanup between Susp and ZTR to get it all right back, plus the bomb delivered at their feet. That tap through the smoke is disgusting.
That was from so far away, too.
Nothing for Zontix either, so he attempts to get into B, and no success. This is Spirit trailing behind.
Yep. Goat port. What does metas mean, you think? Oh wait, it probably has something to do with those the Viking ship and the logo, right?
Surely.
Like port would be like port of entry at like on the coast somewhere. That is.
Yeah, that's what a port is. Yeah, it's
a ship
dock.
So then, yeah, it's got to be something to do with that.
Gotta be something. Wiser words have never been said. It's gotta be something. What it is it's impressive. Because we had this one painted as a Spirit win, no doubt. But now the doubt has crept in. Because the CTs crawl forward. 4-round lead. Looking for more on the ramp, but Donk has been serving up at least opening kills, sometimes 1 or 2. ZTR caught in the open, and Shiro's not gonna let him out. He helps out Chopper to get the kill. Instant headshot from Shiro's AK. This round gets swept away at the A site. Beautifully done on the approach.
Well, the cooler rounds that were won in this half were Metizport, okay, but the more brute force, I'm nuts type plays have definitely gone to Spirit with the way they've had to earn their 4. So, I mean, Metizport can be quite happy about having a 7-round CT side so far. Creates for an interesting situation in half 2. Oh, and someone threw me a lifeline because I was... Remember that whole polyglot thing? Where I was like, polyglot's like multidisciplinary genius. I was thinking of polymath.
Ah.
I thought the word didn't exist at all or something, but...
See? That's why it's better to know less words.
Yeah, less room to be wrong.
The more words you know, the more you gotta keep track of. Think about that. Think about this. Nilo deleted as he tried to hang on to anything of that A site, but you saw Chopper kind of struggling a little bit to get ZTR on the fallback. Shiro, no struggle whatsoever. Swings around the crane, gets the 2 kills needed to put bomb down easy, and we get a bottomed out Metizport here for the final round of the half. They at least piece together a strong buy. A for 7-5. The moment Jaquinho puts his head on that line, Chopper just sends a bullet through. He can feel you. Doesn't matter if he's blinded, doesn't matter if there's smoke up. Chopper just has this intuition down packed. Donk, wide swing around, goes with nothing to be proud of. Adam B seeking a second. Chopper hangs on for dear life. ZTR, great trade magics. A little late to the party, but the last rotator in is Milo. And we know his situation last round. Deleted. This time he brings one with him, but Zontix trades good enough, and that 7-5 score is where we end it.
Makeover madness. We're gonna dive into these CSGO maps and turn them into beautiful CS2 editions. It's gonna be a mind-blowing transformation, even more mind-blowing than Apex hitting a one-tap.
Oh my god, looks really, really old.
Yeah,
And
I don't
really
like
trash, like
Look.
Pimp Scary.
Oh, look at the sun.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Let's leave this shit. Bye. Bye. Oh, magnifique.
My mustache is going up when I see this.
It's beautiful. Oh, it's really new.
I like this one.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, I like it as well. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, we take it. Let's go.
Yeah, my mustache is so great. Yeah. Oh, look at this.
Oh, it looks dirty here. It's look the smell. Oh,
Look, you fart. Oh,
we need to leave.
yeah,
Let's leave.
yeah, I'm leaving.
It's really dirty.
Not good, Joe.
Oh, such a good cleaning
Look at-
toilet.
Smell it. It smells so good.
I could actually live here.
Look at the trash can close to us.
Yes, everything is clean.
Perfect. So
I like those toilets.
yeah, Sam, we might buy it as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking for the same place.
Please.
Yeah, let's leave.
Bye.
My mustache.
Metizport choosing to throw their hat into the ring for another go at what's supposed to be Spirit's weak link. Vertigo, the map choice of Metizport, and a 7-5 CT side after the first 12 are wrapped up. Definitely moments to be proud of here for Metizport, but also I think some individual moments out of Spirit's members, notably Chopper, who had a few clean entry frags that just had, I'd say, you know, any blowout rounds that did go down kind of gave him to Spirit.
Yeah,
Even if they have less of them in all.
that's true. And both of Magic's kills were good.
All two of them.
All two.
So
These guys are mean with dualies on pistols in general, actually, so. Let's see what Zontix can do. He's the only one blast with them right now. Sometimes dogfire.
one is good.
Oh.
Chopper just slammed by Sus. Shiro not going through off the flash. Usually you'd get like Zontix and Donk with Berettas in the A play.
Yes.
That's what they were doing yesterday.
And it worked.
Donk, yep, got 2 kills as they swarmed him all 5 strong. So this time around, the original defenders a little weaker, and Adam B trying to hold back the Magic's flank. There he is, top crane. Done and dead, and Donk up next, swinging towards site. Shiro's gonna combine with him. It's a crossfire on the retake. It's 2 individual duels. The elevator player's dead, but there's no kit here. And so there's not gonna be a pistol round for Spirit, and Metizport will be given a great chance to push Vertigo to the limits. 8-5 their lead.
And does Shiro even live this? It looks like maybe. Ooh, that's close. But he gets away, and ZTR stays alive as well. It's his kills. It's mean Donk could have won the round with a shot off onto short, but it was Shiro doing all the work on this round. Good jump through on the smoke. I mean, you can see them pressed up on both sides. It's pretty impossible. You know, you do have two dualies in your hands, but you don't have 2 crosshairs. So. Well, we could talk about that. We can make that a conversation.
Per weapon crosshair would be fun.
Yeah.
But first, give me an AUG scope that doesn't grow 10 times in size when I'm 5 bullets into a spray. How about that?
It's uncomfortable. That is uncomfortable.
It's broken. Not in a good way. Molotov ahead of the pack. We get the run up from Susp. Donk really hasn't been given chances to go massive in these moments, right? It's been more often 1 kill than the multi-frags we've been so accustomed to from him.
Yeah.
At least he does the 1, softens up the approach, gets them nervous as the pistols just slide to the bomb site. Magix ends up getting killed through it. Now, he's not having a very fun game. 2 and 10. A round that still has a chance. 5-7 in sight. Shiro, great distraction, but the pistol can't quite finish off Adam, and he recovers wonderfully versus the 2. Zontix slips around it, and with Adam low, it's up to Nilo, who stuffs him instead, keeps 2 alive, and takes Metizport to their 9th.
That's the kind of round at Kato they would have won, you know? Like you said, with no multi-kills. I mean, the thing that people aren't willing to talk about with Donk is that he is getting a little older. And you know, not everybody can peak for that long. It's just not a comfortable conversation. But you have to be aware of that fact.
Cash out the retirement funds. Get him out of here.
It's almost 2 months ago. We saw him play at Kato.
Chopper is the Leonardo DiCaprio of the Counter-Strike scene. Once you hit 24, you're cut. So, sorry, Magix, your time's limited. Don't you forget it, kid. Chopper tucked behind yellow. Dodges the nade. That thing blows up at face level, but the Mac 10 will come around, deal with him eventually. Single kill from Zontix. And Metizport pushing Spirit to the limit here on Vertigo. You know, we expected better things than maybe big on this map, just because Metizport made their names here. This is where they've also taken down Falcons to kick off their Showdown run. And now they are on the brink of maybe pushing Spirit into the same spot. This is 3 rounds from victory, map 1.
Yes, it will need to be clean on the CT side, which is possible with full guns, but sort of last chance now. I actually got a DM from CS Leaks, our favorite parody account, the Onion of CS2. And he said, Magix tweeted GG at Cadian because after he beat Astralis because he avenged Cadian by beating Stown and Jabby.
Okay.
It's like a bro moment.
Ah, it was Astralis, not heroic. All right. What a nice guy Magix is. Do you remember that time he kicked over a chair on broadcast after an interview?
I'm just trying to defame my boy or what?
I'm never sure if he's a nice guy or he's actually the closest thing we've got to a villain.
Oh, wait. That was on... was that on Kato?
It was with Stunna. I think it was Cologne.
I remember this.
And again,
I remember this.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Magix kick over chairs, make sure to go ahead and find it.
He also won Red Bull Flick, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the exit interview for the winner's interview for Red Bull Flick, that was funny.
He said, "I love
Magic as
anime."
well. More than Finland is sort of what he implied.
Nice crawl out middle. You see the shakeup of the CTs here with the timing out of Metizport, but they've got the recovery in place. Felt like Spirit were about to get caught by how close Metizport had been able to creep up silently, but luckily for them, keep their guard up, catch them before they jump the fence into their backyard. Sus will try to soften up Donk. He dodges the nade. Clean headshot to Adam B, and that's the comfortable 4 versus 2 that Spirit have been looking for to close. But again, it's just a one and done. Donk is putting forth a defense, but not stopping everything in its tracks. Slide out from Chopper, good off angle. That'll be Sus down for the count. Jacquinho drawn forward into Magic's M4. Oh, the snapshot is nice, but the second one's not quite there, and Chopper ends it all.
The world wasn't ready for another Jacquinho 1v3.
But he's cooking. It's brewing.
ZTR doing his best Chopper performance right now. Having a great game here on Vertigo. And personally, it's been a tournament where I watch and I think this is about ZTR. You know, this is about ZTR recovering his story. And in a rare opportunity to have as much attention, you know, playing against a team like Spirit in a main circuit event after, you know, last being spotted IGLing for the Young Ninjas.
Zontix is locked in with this one. No support now. Oh, no check. Jacquinho just gives it away for free.
The amount of times people don't clear that close angle after they've been holding ramp.
And after there's been a smoke. When it's very obvious someone could be tucked.
Ah, he's the genius.
I'm so shocked. Now this is something that can catch you off guard. Chopper taking a chance. Coming around the smoke. Little trigger discipline. Decides to jump on it with the sus brag, and then fallbacks down is all of fake. Chopper is so good. He's so good.
The jump back was so believable, too, the way he did that.
Dude,
and he actually got a
lined him
collat
up.
spray down right there through the smoke.
Unreal. Shooting the player on the corner.
outta
That's
here.
the one in the Xbox. Watch this, folks. 2 kills right there. It's a stray bullet into the back of ZTR. Sit down.
Into the straight Glock save, actually. That full buy took the win out of the Metizport sales.
This is Chopper being the back-to-back top performer for Spirit on a map of Vertigo in a 48-hour window.
True.
This is Chopper being the solution. If your teammates can't find it, then he'll do it himself. He gets mowed down this time, peeking into this whole pack of players, but the sandbag spot's looking like a really good anchor. Distraction from the bomb site serves Zontix very well. Swings it out with the 4K. Shooting for the ace, and he'll nail it. That's Adam B down for the count, and Spirit coming back.
That's a tasty little eco there for Zontix. The eco ace after Chopper got instantly triple dinged from the bottom of a ramp by the first 3 Ts that swung out. Poor guy had his moment in the sun. Didn't even get to have the bonus eco round. But you know, in like Street Fighter, when you beat up the car after your like 3rd fight or whatever, it's like a bonus round where you're just supposed to do as much damage to the car as possible. That's like the eco that Chopper didn't get. You're a console gamer, Connor. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Bonus rounds.
I play on a Steam Deck, so it's not as bad as, you know, other it's like, is it a console?
Yeah, but you played on consoles before.
Oh, as a kid. Yeah. Before
Yeah.
Counter-Strike. Before
Fighting games, you know, like a bonus round in a fighting game.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, maybe it was like a Third Strike arcade machine thing. I don't know, but
I'm not that old.
yeah.
I've still got some youth in these knees. No knees on the walk down. They can't walk down those stairs.
Oh, Chopper again. Just got to do everything, man. He just got to do it all.
Yeah, watch him. Watch him pull this off. 2 deaths on B. Easy lineup. He's got the cover. He does such good angle work from that back to the site spot. This time, you know, 3 kills a little too much, but he is multi-fragging more regularly than Donk is at the moment. And that's food for thought. Shiro, pressured from middle. As Zontix looks to come over, there's going to be this creep out from Milo, perfectly timed. Clears off 1 half. Excuse me, Zontix is actually down beneath. So 1 step behind.
He's pretty fast, right? Oh no, he's going to go back to A. Okay. That's a bad read on the situation. I guess it would make sense that they push through, but does it? Because they got the B kill. He actually had a chance to get up through the B steps on a timing. I think that window's closed, and it might close on his fingers if he's not careful. But the game is now close, so this double entry from Sus was beautiful, and the reason that now Metizport is easily into an 11th round here. But doesn't necessarily spell disaster for Spirit, who do have some money left over.
Easy pick up there. Donk just, not even because the nade gets cleared, there was always going to be a gap above it. And then for a second, right, there's a party that wants to believe Chopper's going to bring back the entire round. He's been playing well enough in the last 2 days to have done it.
Yeah.
But an entire team of Metizport a bit much of an ask. Timeout Spirit. 3rd timeout for Holly to come in with. Final timeout prior to overtime. You know, all the upsets that have been happening at Showdown, every step of the way, kind of like started to make us numb to the possibility of the next one and the next one, because it always feels like surely we've come to the end of the road of the upsets. But this is the upset, Spirit not making London, that nobody that nobody could imagine. Whether you wanted it or not, you couldn't tell me that you came into this game, let alone this event, and suspected somebody like Metizport to be dropping Spirit down to a potential elimination in the deciding game of London.
Yeah. Like when a team like...
You know, so many other upsets have happened. When will we learn?
It's true. It's very true. Very true. And as much as you think that, you know, wins like Kato and things would mean that you've got a period of dominance coming up, it can almost have an inverse effect, spelling disaster for an online game or something that's just not quite as high stakes anymore for certain teams, or for other teams to just really just be so ready, putting every ounce of their willpower into preparing for the match against you, that it just becomes, everything becomes so hard. But Chopper could be here to stop him. My God, another kill through the smoke. Another lineup as well.
Great slowdown of the pack, but then still ZTR just shreds through Magix. Donk going down with damage here. No kill from Donk, neither from Magix. Magix now has been bullied across this map. He is 3 and 14 with 0 frags from either of the B defenders. If not for Chopper shaving 1 off mid, that one would have looked even worse.
And
that
Shiro's
is
actually
OT guaranteed from Metizport.
And Shiro's actually too scared to come out to this angle earlier. All right, he was scared that someone was going to jump up and kill him with shadow advantage, but he did have a free chance to get into the mix. With 3 players up, I mean, there was technically a chance that they could fight back into this. But Zontix losing the gun is an interesting decision when it's not Metizport who are worried about money.
Especially around the round prior, you know, they came in with extra money. This potentially final round, they won't have that luxury.
Wow, Sus just gave it a shot after hearing Donk shoot. That was nice.
Tough run of it. Not the microscope Magix wanted to find himself under in the final game of the Showdown. But alas, it is 4 chances for Metizport to close this first one down. They have managed to cool off Chopper somewhat. He's still at the top of the charts for Spirits, and this deep smoke is not enough to deter ZTR from getting up into the corner. Shiro hunting. And while Chopper has a more passive angle backed by sandbags, could get closer. Good first one from Shiro, but that player in the corner, not given what he wanted. No kind of overextension there from Shiro. Even Chopper starts to peel it back.
Yep. And he once again puts himself in a decent spot. They're coming to clear this out. Oh, actually, that's a huge find.
Deep. ZTR's real deep. Deep enough to catch the Opera off, and then the elevator smoke.
What was the plan with Chopper? No smoke, and then Shiro leaving his only support.
Yep. Must have thought that with that one kill, there wasn't an entire pack of players there. Didn't think the timing was possible. And yet, the reality now is Spirit retake needed 3v4, or Metizport are map up and Spirit a map away from elimination. Leaning back to hold this off. ZTR, such great impact as he came in from short, and Jacquinho's gonna bring one down with him. We need the multi-kill from Donk. It is too late now, and he is out of it with one because Sus, along the fencing, puts Metizport up a map. Believe your eyes. Believe these scenes. A showdown that is no stranger to the upsets.
All right, well, things just got interesting coming out of Vertigo because Metizport take the map 1 victory over Team Spirit, as unlikely as you'd think it. Magix came into this game saying, yeah, I think people are overreacting on how you know, Vertigo might be a weakness for us. And man, Metizport just took it to them and absolutely stealing away map 1. Now they have a chance at 2-0. Now they have a chance of eliminating them and qualifying for London, Bubsky.
Yeah, and I love those reactions, right? It reminds me so much of my old days qualifying for that DreamHack Open it was back then, right? It was nothing compared to this. It's such an important event for an organization who just extended contracts on all of them, and all of a sudden they look like a top team. Obviously, it's Vertigo. We've seen Spirit being weak on it, but man, these guys, they just wanted so much more than everybody else.
And it's crazy too, like seeing the performance from this team. These guys look like an actual unit at the moment. But I mean, ZTR again topping the charts as the in-game leader. Adam B not far behind. He's had a fantastic event. And actually, the guy Nilo, whatever his name is, we came in talking about how such a strong player he can be. He hasn't had to do much. I mean, he's having his impact. He's not playing badly, but he's not this like breakout star player that we kind of expected. If Metizport was going to win this, we would have said, you know, Nilo would have popped off and gone absolutely apeshit. But it's a team effort at the moment.
Yeah, and I think you highlighted perfectly. It's actually the rotations being really nice. It's actually the mid rounds from CTR being really executed well. It's not like Spirit is playing a terrible game of Counter-Strike, but Metizport, like with the small timings, the on-page gameplay, it really looks nice coming into the rounds. But I still think it's a great advantage from them having to be able to actually have everyone pop off. We both talk about Satar as the coach, or sorry, not the coach, but the in-game leader, and then Jaquinho as the AWP. We haven't seen so much from the AWP itself, but it's everybody contributing at this point against the world's best team, in my opinion.
And we were talking about it just as we came back too, before we came on air, just like the idea that, like, you know, how it looks like this is just a team of 5 players who are doing absolutely everything they can to work together, to play together, to do everything with teamwork. No one's trying to overextend it, do too much. I mean, surprisingly, this team's kind of come out of nowhere, at least for me at this event, and looked fantastic.
They've had a good run of games. I think I knew coming into the tournament that they would be able to probably win a game or two, but going up against the likes of Spirit, I would have said an easy 2-0 for Spirit. But they do it well. They cause a lot of mid-round stress on the Spirit's side. They don't really get to be comfortable in their positions, and they constantly just push. And that also says that the team is really on page with each other.
And if we go back to the interview that ZTR gave just into this, one thing he kind of really focused on was thinking the map pool is going to be very nice for them, and he specifically mentioned Vertigo, Mirage, and Ancient. Well, Ancient's not in the map pool in this contest, but Mirage is up next. So all of a sudden you're sitting there and ZTR is like, yeah, we have 2 of the 3 maps that we would really like to play against this team, and all of a sudden that starts to be a little bit more of a powerful statement than it might seem at face value.
Yeah, and the weirdest part is that we spoke about that Vertigo. We knew it was weak, right? But then yesterday, Spirit showed so many good things on Vertigo, and we thought like, okay, finally they've gotten some momentum, but straight back at it today, and they're actually gonna lose the first map. I wouldn't be too worried yet from the likes of Spirit, as we've seen them on Vertigo being a little bit uncomfortable at times. But now it's an all or never, and it's really the pressure is gonna be on Spirit's side.
Sure, and a map that they've shown they like to play as well, going to be very strong on it. An open map for Shiro's AWP, Donk, and his entries. Obviously, we know what they can pop off with. But I mean, I guess one question I have is what happened to Magix in that map? Like, Magix had what, 3-4 kills across that map of Vertigo. Not obviously his greatest performance of all time, but that certainly couldn't have been an easy thing for Spirit to overcome.
No, I think the mid-round rotations really caught him off guard. I think they played a good game on the Metizport side, really trying to cause a lot of problems with the rotations on the CT side, and I think Magisk is one player we really speak about highly of his aim. I think he's really underrated in that aspect when we see him on some of the positions where he's like forced to take duels. I think he's really good, but when he has to rotate a lot, I think maybe that can cause him a little bit of problems. But I do also think we have to give the credibility to the other side of the team. One guy I'm a little bit disappointed about at this tournament in the whole aspect is Shiro. Like, Shiro was brought in to be the second star for Dunk, right? I'm not saying he's underperforming or anything like that, but he's certainly not the number 3 player in the world that he was last year, right? So he really needs to find a level that is more suitable for this roster if they want to be continuing on the uptrend trajectory.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a very hectic, busy, exciting start to the year as well. It's funny seeing these two teams because you had Spirit, who kind of came into the year, surprised everyone, shocked everyone, and win IEM Katowice. Then obviously qualify for the major as well, and been thrust into the limelight as maybe one of the top 3 teams in the world, one of the top 3 teams you'd expect to be lifting the major trophy as well in Copenhagen. On the other side of it, you have Metizport, who we saw from the map numbers. They've just been on the tier 2 qualification grind. They're playing some of these maps 17, 18, 20 times, while Spirit for the year has only played them, 8, 9, 7 times sometimes even. So just the amount of Counter-Strike being played by Metizport is showing. They seem very comfortable in everything that they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, and I also think it comes down to prioritization, right? Spirit, they have a major coming up. They're going to be focusing 100% on this one. Obviously, they still want to win this one, right? I'm not saying that they didn't practice, but they did say they have a week of break coming up to this tournament a little bit. And then we're going to have Metizport on the other hand. For them, this is the major, right? This is their chance in 224 to make an impact, get on the LAN stages, get a lot of points on the rankings to potentially get more. So this is all or nothing for these guys. And it's really going to be interesting to see how it's going to fold out.
Yeah, it is. And going into Mirage map number 2, you know, Metasport's going to be flying high. They're going to be really confident, feeling really good about this. Spirit, on the other hand, even just coming off of a little bit of a break to catch their breath before the major begins, it's a recovery mission now. What are your thoughts on this upcoming map? Spirit going to be able to bounce back, take this to 3, or are you all of a sudden changing your tune and thinking maybe Metasport can actually pull off the upset?
I feel like you should almost voice your opinion here as an ex-coach, right? How do you get your players back in the zone, right? And I think we've seen a little bit from the coach of Halley. We don't get much information about him on an external view because I don't think we get too many comments from the Spirit guys as they're mostly speaking Russian, right? We do have Magics and something sometimes giving an insight, but it's hard to judge from the outside what he's really bringing to the team. We did see him play a stand-in role at the first blast, and that wasn't too good. So hopefully he's better as a coach than as a player.
Sure. Well, I think one thing you'd have to expect from a team like Spirit that is experienced and has played on big stages already is that they should be able to shrug this one off and come back into Mirage and be able to handle business and take us to a third. The deciding map would be Nuke, if we can get there, if Spirit can win this next map. But before that, it's Mirage, and they've got backs against the wall. This upset team out of Sweden is all of a sudden wreaking havoc on the bracket. We're off to a break. When we come back, we'll see if Metizport can complete it in 2, shock the world, and qualify for London.
They say anything's possible at the Blast Showdown, and we may be sitting on the brink of the biggest upset. Swedish schoolboys versus the Katowice Grand Champions, and a team that some have painted for top 8 at the major is nothing short of a guarantee. So here we are, Mo. It's Mirage up next, but you know, as much as one can attempt to exploit the weaknesses of Spirit's Vertigo, I think when you start going to Mirage, you better be ready for that donk top mid fight, because it's coming on T side, it's coming at you CT side.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you go or what you do, donk will be swinging for the fences on Mirage.
Yeah, and we know that like losing Vertigo can be an exception, but it can all change on Mirage. Sort of a slap in the, not a slap in the face, but a wake-up call when you mention that this is a team that people are expecting top 8 guaranteed at the first CS2 major, where there's always been a part of me that's just like, top 8 is hard to guarantee, but it's true. This is going to be even one of the teams that's picked to probably one of the most picked teams to win the major flat out. So there has to be some bar of expectation here at the Showdown to simply qualify for London. They have to be on their A game, and the last thing they want is to be questioning their confidence and their confidence style gameplay in a tournament right before the major begins.
You know, if any of that confidence has a weakness, then maybe it is on Vertigo still, right? Like, we didn't learn anything. It's the scales tilting a little bit back towards the reality of maybe Vertigo being the weak point, right? There's been a collection of team, a barrel of monkeys who have all tried to take Spirit to Vertigo and failed. This is just Metizport cracking through. The greatest apes.
Now the other map that they lost was also Mirage versus Mouse. It was a very close game, but so was Vertigo in that series. Not to say there's any specific weakness on Mirage, but you know, of course, Mouse can absolutely play that map well, but Spirit picked it there too. Just, you know, ominous coincidental signs that means nothing here in this veto.
For the underpass setup, waiting for that kind of swing, which also just elicits a very fast apartment flank that could definitely catch the tees off. Nobody inside of the bomb site to actually stop Spirit, so banking on the retake, doing so with a Jacquinho kit towards Catwalk, a very slow market play as well that'll eventually come forward, but it looks like that'll be the third prong of this trident in the retake. Shiro tapping back the P250 down from Cat. Chopper, only player to post a kill so far, and he'll double down on Susp, and then a third to Nilo, and the T's get away with it, holding off that flank. But again, who else than Chopper is going to be putting forth multi-frags today?
Seriously, the star fragger of the Showdown here for Spirit sometimes. Crazy how good he's been. At first, it was sort of surprising. It was charming. It was impressive. It was unlikely, but now it's common. It's expected. And it's honestly welcomed, I think, for Spirit, who need a jolt of energy. So a pistol round win means a good start here to Mirage.
And for boost to underpass, this is the force buy. What they put all their eggs into, that one basket on underpass, and it gets unraveled, unweaved. Shiro very quickly through the catwalk. Donk still just floating bomb back top mid. But I think the pace of the game, the aggressiveness of the game, all of that could have a real uptick in tempo as Spirit gets to play Mirage now.
I think they already know that this round's over, having one cat with a B split coming up, but just don't want to fumble anymore. Wait, what is wrong with that deagle?
He's got stickers on the end of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it did
stickers.
It tricked me. It really tricked. I own a Deagle Blaze, and this tricked me. There used to be a bug when you were watching Pro CS, like in 2013, where there's like one clip of a guy who had a stat track Deagle Blaze. Looked amazing. And you got to see it in a live match, but it was a bug.
There's still the bug of like sometimes stickers will go from one weapon to another weapon. So you get to see like I buy power stickers that have been on for 10 years, and all of a sudden you get to see them on like an X-ray. You know, even rarer sight. So
true. Man, thinking back, those iBat Power stickers are so cool.
Thinking back to when they were 25 cents a capsule. Still a better return than Bitcoin. Katowice 2014s. We could all be millionaires.
Yep.
Remember, kids, scared money don't make money.
That's right. Whenever you think of a good idea, put all your money into it. This is not financial advice.
Yeah, liquidate today. Jaquinho top mid. Nice hold. Gets Chopper back.
That's the one gun, yeah.
AK, right? Yeah, so put the AK in the right place to get the 5v4 to do it. Oh, I was going to say without taking a bunch of damage, but Chopper softened him up. Zontic double entry. Market player comes out with the Deagle, falling to Shiro. And while the MAC-10's been retrieved from middle, that's all Chopper has given over to ZTR. Poor guy doesn't even get a real weapon to try and find another kill with. Donk deep to the marketplace. It dies out to the Deagle. These are not the kinds of scenes that we have come to expect from Dear Donk.
No, Donk would have a straw hat on a round like this, just farming every single kill. The Donk we know. The younger, more exuberant Donk of months past. Polish Donk.
ZTR looking for one road. Just a little off the mark.
Just to let him know. I could have got you. I could have defused.
I choose not to. Showing a little mercy, ZTR, as Spirit go up 3-0.
Like you said, controlling the pace, going fast. That will definitely continue forward, even on the CT side. With very confident base play inside of middle to take top mid control. But if Donk is simply not individually as strong, then I mean then Chopper has to call around something different, right? He has to be a bit more flexible than like if Donk's taking everything, you call around him, why not? Let him take all the aggressive picks. But if not, you got to be ready for plan B.
Oof, that's
oh man,
gonna come back to haunt you, Jaquinho. You had a clean chance at the op pick, and again it's just pressure dialed, cranked by Zontix.
Great.
Back to back, double entries, nothing but headshots to boot, and the B site crumbles.
No round whatsoever. If Jaquinho hits a shot, he's allowed to stay alive, and his teammate on Cat can stay in the best position possible. So they also take the risk of running right into that op. And now they might actually all die as well. Double swings coming out here.
You looking at, Chopper?
Oh.
Just checking out the Palace's crown molding. Nice little
yeah, that was weird. It was like he was like lining up some utility or something.
Back and forth, Adam cleared. So majority of life for Spirit and a totally swept away Metizport. Best case scenario for Spirit out of the game.
Yeah, just a really, really clean shot. Gotta hit those. Got to hit those. We haven't seen Metizport take Mirage, right? I think it's been picked against them in this showdown so far. But they obviously are very good at it, win rate wise. Oh no, oh wait, no, let me see. Let's see. Oh no, I'm crazy. Well, they lost it to Falcons, but they actually destroyed Monty on it 13-5.
Nothing to scoff at, even with Monty's roster fluctuations. Oof, again, huh? Right back to it. I mean, this is 3 rounds in a row. You're 4v5 at least in like the first 10 to 15 seconds. You know, that is that tempo I was trying to allude to, that I'm trying to warn Metizport about, but needless to say, I think everybody has come to expect it. This is just the reality of Spirit on Mirage.
one more pick off like this, and again the round is over. So Metizport, I mean, they don't have a full investment. They've been doing good at using the few guns they have on rounds like this to get something going, but right now they're basically just hugging the perimeter of the map.
Shots to Catwalk, finding their mark. That's 70 damage on Donk, 9 to Chopper, 20 Zontix. Little tags, but Donk coming through, making sure Zontix doesn't get all the freebies inside that site. Shiro confirming the fallback here. This is Metizport again, just trying to hang on for whatever they're allowed to. Spirit.
I think Donk was like average, and Zontix was like, or Zontix, Donk were above average. Shiro was still, you know, top 3 in the world, right, at one point. So we've definitely seen him play well. We haven't seen him go into a full-on superstar carry map after map situation with this new Spirit lineup. But you've got to imagine that that is still possible as well.
I think when games get closer or bigger stage matches, high pressure moments, I think that's when we're going to get, you know, the uptick out of Shiro again. Shiro online with Gambit, great. Shiro online with Cloud9, part of the pack.
Yeah, online, yeah.
And if you think about it again, just like the
in 22 he was, you know,
the timeline
he was
for
top
this
3.
roster, right? Still a new team.
Very new.
They've achieved so much, so I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. You're allowed a hiccup or two. Potential's undeniable. Wallbangs unavoidable.
Yeah, he gets away.
Donk's gonna follow through to the sandwich control. Flash to get him further if he wants to take the swing. It's there for him, being set up with teammates. Ooh, but he took the volley out, and that'll be the end of him. ZTR gets the best of it, 5v4. We haven't seen this from Metizport, and so they better make the most of it. Nice position from Sus, down beneath Magix. Nilo closing in on Chopper. Missed shot from Shiro. This one's falling flat, and that 5-round streak from Spirit comes to an end.
Every idea shut down. Nice kills here for Metizport. You know, I guess my point was with that last bit about Shiro was that, like, I hope nobody on this team has just gotten too complacent, right? You wouldn't want anyone to just get a little bit like, all right, well, there's nothing for me to do, because Donk is really just here every single game no matter what. And I couldn't imagine that happening to Shiro, but I also haven't, you just don't, because everything's so new, we haven't ever had Shiro had to carry Donk out of a bad spot. He's been there right behind him, but it's just never been anybody else right now. I think it's more often we've seen Zontix actually carry when Donk has had a light struggle or like not completely top fragged. But that's a contrast to the Shiro, who was the through and through star player on all of his teams previously. And sometimes the one and only.
Yep. We know he can carry. No denying that. Last
You are the one and only.
Hold on, bro. Karaoke's next week. Maui Snake will beat you there. Adam B will gun down Donk and get instantly traded out. Oh, nice CTR of 2 mines here, right? Wanting to hold the front of the A site, but also cautious of the potential mid climb. And Nilo with the smoke bottom mid couldn't really hold all that on his own. So it is an opening for Spirit, made wider by the smokes. That potential ticket peak is a looming threat. We'll see if Sus decides to get confident with it, whether anybody holds it. Shiro going back in for the bomb plant. Op shots whizzing by from the catwalk, and they're going to go doubling down into the ticket peak.
Oh man, jungle is the right place to go here for the T side. They have the absolute perfect post plan. I mean, this is almost unstoppable, I want to say. Utility is actually good though for the CT side. Oh. And great shot from Shiro. Denies any hope now with the push through ticket. And an extra player here in Magix. He's just a warning system. Nice one here for Shiro.
Yes, sir. That snapshot on the jump up, shutting it down. The bomb plant location safely behind triple as well. And we get Spirit comfortable once they get these kills here. CTR almost stopping one side of it all. That right there, dude. Sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down. Starting to take off. Starting to stuff Metizport back into the economic problems, but they'll go deep on ramp with the op support trained in. It's a matter of swarming Jackino. If he can just get his kill, that'll help. The player in the ramp set up well enough. Great shot, but the second one's empty-handed. Adam B down for nothing. Nilo, he's trying to help on the side of the bench, but then the Palace player comes in and gets his. Spamming both sides. It is Nilo with the multi-frag and half health still to play. ZTR empty-handed. Shiro excellent, but that nade popping the smoke pushes it to a 1 HP clutch from the Opper. And no bomb possession and no teammates left.
You wouldn't think this is possible on 1 health. I mean, with the bomb stranded and the CTs looking, what hope is there? Is it tucked behind triple at all? No, it looks like it's just right in the middle of the site. No reason for them to just sit and do anything except sit and wait. No view here from the T side, but the smoke is still up. Okay, so he'll let him know. It doesn't have health to play with, but Neil is playing missiles, ready for that swing. Easy one here for Metizport.
Plays in the hecticness of that round, popping the ticket smoke. That climb up from ZTR that could have even gone better, but alas, they still pull it over the line. Big moment for Nilo, you know. I think in this recent week, we haven't had to talk about only Nilo, and that is a good sign, right? He is supposed to be the star. They've been holding a lot of his potential in their back pocket, waiting for the time to play it. He has had pop-off moments, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, he had like that amazing map on Overpass, but right now 3 of his teammates are more highly rated than him in this tournament. And we are talking about Adam B at a 1.37 over 6 maps, like consistently a lot better. So he's had more than a team. He's actually been carried on average.
That's the runway he needs to go big one here versus Spirit. The 6-6 half best case scenario for Metizport. Peek in from Adam B, going to be iced out by Zontix. And with that, immediately swarming out of the ramp. Chopper also sprints up Khan, catching Nilo. Nice blindside to make sure he goes down with nothing this round. And it's feeling like the perfect approach coming through from Spirit, but an approach that was offered over, right? That Palace peek served as the trigger for Spirit to come up ramp and Khan. Post Shiro on the jungle angle. Donk's going to alleviate that pressure, and suddenly Metizport feeling like they are trapped in the cage with the beast. Stuck in CT, just looking to exit, and nothing is guaranteed for these 2 guns.
Yeah, they'll have to earn this save too. See if they find a way out. As long as Jackie doesn't miss. Oh, yeah. Well, that's not good. Donk is in full force now. 3 kills, both exits. That might be no guns next round here for Metizport. And it looked like they were in a buy save cycle.
Seen this solo rifle come out for Metizport a few times this map. It's gotten kills, but oh my.
They're too close. Uh-oh.
Nades in hands. And Chopper just slipping through smoke, slowly routing himself around the catwalk. Maybe could be the gun gifted to ZTR. Nah, Chopper on high alert, ready for it. Donk deep through B. All is good here for Spirit. That is 8 guaranteed.
Yeah. And he's coming forward at them now.
And honestly, we'd seen this half kind of kick off with these high pressure, quick moments over towards the B site. A little conditioning that then opened up A round or two, but Spirit switching back to it in the final few rounds of the half. And it feels like Metizport weren't quite ready. M4 and Connector gets nothing.
Yeah,
That's,
they're most
needed to be everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely feels like their full-on B attacks are the scariest, and a lot of these rounds are definitely cutting the time down by simply hitting one extremity or the other. 8 is a good position to be in for Spirit. Now, Metizport, I think they actually made a massive comeback yesterday on this map, if I can remember correctly. That was versus... Oh, yeah, that was a crawlback versus Monty. So Mirage started out 5-0 for Monty, and then Metizport came back and won every single next round until it was 13-5.
Damn.
So they don't care how many rounds you have, Spirit, on Mirage. They do this. Also, if anybody knows what Metizport translates to, I would love to know. They're a Norwegian-based organization with a Swedish lineup.
Elo, couldn't figure out that last shot. Luckily, ZTR's nade will find Donk instead. So you've got Donk down at a minute 30. That's something to be happy about, but you've also still got ZTR kind of stranded top mid. He'll take his leave. Chopper crawling forward here for the chase, perhaps. There's more support for the CTs than him, but he goes wide, catching the headshot, and then there's still that trade potential. Nicely done from Jaquinho, making sure that man advantage isn't lost. But damn, Chopper almost timed that to perfection, getting away.
No kidding. No kidding. Jaquinho, good trade, though. Come peek connector. Could have let that go if he was a little slower. Susp might jump into this, but I wouldn't think so. Not at this time. He wants to be careful, but he has no utility to fall back with. Playing a slightly more aggressive position. Adam B may have heard some footsteps, but I don't see Jaquinho moving.
Gonna climb up and follow it. That's the right move. You should definitely find players' backs turned, but Shiro keeps looking behind him on intervals. The moment he doesn't feel like he's sensed for a trade frag, maybe he checks back, but he's also got bomb. Here he is, posted top underpass. They activate. He's got it.
Oh my God.
Turns. You could see it coming.
Yeah.
On a 3-second interval, he'd take that glance back, and sure enough, poor Metizport.
You're right. I mean,
find the flank.
It looks like very unfortunate timing, but you were talking about that for 15 seconds. He kept checking. He kept looking. He was worried about it. He's wondering why it's so quiet. No one was looking for info inside of B. No one was throwing utility, no flash, while there were still 3 players up from the CT side. So either it was a totally vacant site with like a push off of short, but like that almost in and of itself means that there could have been a flank in upper B. So great game sense here for Shiro. Pays off in the end. And if he doesn't get the shot, then he loses the bomb with it and the round. So all had to come together.
Could have been disastrous. Another round where we get a Zontix headshot popping open the B site. You know, that also had to go well. We're looking at Shiro stopping the flank to make sure bomb doesn't get picked up. But anybody in the site that gets the first kill, if Zontix dies, I don't think Shiro has the liberty to be looking behind him. So both those things had to go well at the same time, and that's what leads Spirit to keep on winning. Can't stop, won't stop. Final stop of the first half. Quick underpass play. They're going for the apps fight. This is going to be Magix with his hands full. Coming at him from the B bomb site after the Jaquinho distraction from underpass, and he's operating alone. Will die empty-handed. They find the weak link.
But did they see 3 or 2? Because getting out of underpass is actually a long challenge. So Chopper's going to find a timing connector. Happy to walk up and through this, but he gets caught off from Cat. Nice from Susp.
Nice change up from Metizport here at the very tail end of the CT side. Just trying to get that third one any which way. They come out of the gate swinging. They post the 5v3 advantage, but now Donk's gonna grab bomb and go and join those teammates, right? This has been that fallback protocol for Spirit. When in doubt, hit B. And Zontic's tasked with the same job, to crack it open with a headshot. Susk, nice off angle, will find him off guard. And putting down the smoke to deny the Shiro trade for now. That bomb is in tow, and it's gotten here, but Susk with the re-aggression over Van. This last round's fantastic. Metizport, it's perfection. And it's a 3-round CT side to work with. Metizport jump into this semi-final versus Spirit and come out swinging, but they have awoken the monster. And normally I'd be talking about just Donk, but I mean the entirety of Spirit at the moment. Zontic's B-site entries, Chopper's timing in mid, and just the consistency of Spirit's aggression was something that Metizport couldn't handle throughout the majority of that half. Sure, they sprinkle a round in at the very end, but it is 3 rounds to work with and a much-needed pistol, or we go nuke, I'd say.
Very possible. And the resilience definitely has echoed through this showdown, and the results, obviously, versus the Falcons have turned heads. If they could do it now from a 3-9, it would be a whole different level of, I think, respect and admiration and interest earned to this brand new sort of prodigious Swedish lineup. But that result, I think, is still quite far away. They've got to just focus in on doing it 1 round at a time, and they already lose one of their stars.
It's been one of the sharper pieces of Spirit in this series. takes a gush alongside Magix. This is weakened pieces of the B-site defense, and Metizport comfortably down out from Magix. Even with little health, still posts one. Chopper can do the same. Donk can't. There's the recovery. There's the 3 kills back. A 2v5 turned into the 2v2. And Shiro hunting from Market. The timing here could work out wonderfully for him. Will they let their guards down? They have. Beretta's connect to the back of the head, and Adam now into the clutch. He's been the best piece of this Metizport squad, and he's got separated fights for the moment. That second CT comes back around the Market. He has no clue where to expect both. But down he goes. Shiro making sure there is no runway here for Metizport unless they force by and break in early. This is Spirit on the brink of map 3.
And this is the muscle right now for Spirit here on Mirage. It's Shiro 11-4, Zontix 11-4. Both putting in work, and that was actually a great shot. That probably made the difference as well for Magix, who was down to just 1 bullet. I think he was at 4 HP or something. Could have very easily died. Sucks to lose when it's that close. I mean, you can see they feel it, that they maybe could have put a comeback together. They want to stay on Mirage for sure, if possible. You know what they say, when you're going through hell, keep going.
No matter how down you are, don't quit. Chopper sliding behind 2. Oh, Chopper, dirt nasty. He just lets Donk clean him up, so that poor third guy comes out with the full expectation that at least he's got some room to work up until the stairs. And Chopper, one of them, makes sure that there is 0 opportunity for Metizport to walk away with this one. Nilo showing the Deagle's got something behind it, but a little too much to ask of him. Donk from the staircase with the 4K, and Chopper the 1 to get Spirit that much closer.
And honestly, Donk has been really just taking advantage of rounds like these, I think, just to beef up his stats. He hasn't really been getting the super key, you know, rifle frags. Again, that's been his teammates who have, I think, done the most, whether it's Chopper, Shiro, or Zontix. But I think they want him to be as confident as possible. And it hasn't been those swings at the top of mid so far.
Yeah, if the going gets tough, then Donk will get going. But for now, he's just going to be one of the key pieces of the A setup. Nice push here from Shiro. Super deep through apartments. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right in the front. There's no way he did that.
Ridiculous scene.
The audacity.
And then the desperation as well to exit into the A site to get something to go with it. But no, sir. Shiro, how dare you?
He knew he was going to line up that nade. Like, he knew exactly what he was going to do.
Look at that devilish smile, man. That's so cheesy.
When you're at your most vulnerable, oh, that's just got to feel terrible. 2 left clicks to the front, just facing you the entire time.
I don't think there's anything more enjoyable in the Counter-Strike scene than seeing Shiro have a good time.
Yeah, true.
You know, after seeing the negative side of the spectrum,
yeah,
when it comes to his emotions on Cloud9 to this, he's having fun with it. And how could you not be? 12-3 map 2, everything looking perfect here on your own map choice. Nuke waiting in the wings, and London calling. Watching all the other favorites fumble. Spirit can just forget about Vertigo soon enough, but it is still man advantage here for Metizport. Gonna fight every step of the way, and that fight will be given back by Chopper as it has been all series long. Zontix in the window from downtown. We'll take it back. So the edge is that of Spirit. There's a question around Magix. He finished the first half, that dominant 9-3 half. He was 3-3. Just wasn't part of the action. We'll see if he can get a round to be proud of here, but gun barrel spotted as he tries to push around the mollies. So good post-plant attempt for Metizport to keep the game alive. Chopper on an op.
CHAWPPER, baby.
And Zontix on the flank. And that quiet creep forward is just going to seal the deal. Adam B back from bench versus the chopper offer. Missed shot and a missed opportunity to close it. That'll be the sniper saved and a fourth for the Swedes.
I spelled it all out because I thought like it's going to end on this epic moment where he gets the last kill with the gun that he never uses, but this wasn't meant to be, I guess. Also, Magic's hello. What actually happened there? I think he still thought they were in apartments somehow. So must have misheard them jumping out, but he's 4 and 6. Hasn't seen much, you know?
Yeah. As is the life of the B anchor.
Yeah.
Oh, so us making the most of the pop smoke. But Donk letting loose off his leash in middle. He'll get a fight towards mid, but meanwhile the B hit comes in. Magic's gonna have to pick it up. And Shiro's here to help him, right? That gap on smoke towards Van is a quick trade frag from Shiro and a huge ask for Jacquinho, who's also been having a tough game. Swapping to the M4, planting the bomb. Maybe in the post plant, he'll have a better chance. The op rings out. A warning of things to come. It's 2 from the market, 1 up the cat, and Donk wastes no time. Spirit just chewing through this attempt of Metizport in the best of 3. It's an excellent opening map on Vertigo that will push this final match of the Showdown to the final map. Upset City, baby, has been Spring Showdown. Do we have one more on our hands, or are Spirit heading to London?
Good evening, CS Nation. I'm here on Overpass, where a simple birthday party took a turn for the explosive. It turns out the struggle is real.
Yeah, I mean, we came to this park. It just got upgraded and updated a few months ago. And yeah, everything changed. I mean, I expected others to have eco and not come around in the park, but yet here we are, and everything is flying around. There's Molotov flashes, and yeah, that just ruined the birthday party for my dear son here, and all the balloons we set up was like $40, and they're just gone. The only thing we have left is basically our hats, so I'm feeling sad. For me, 6 months I planned this.
6 months?
Yeah.
Oh my. Young man, can you tell me what you remember when things started to take a turn for the worse?
Yeah, so me and my father were celebrating my birthday, and suddenly there's just smokes and Molotovs flying, and that's it. I'm sad.
I'm so sorry. Enjoy your hat, though.
Whoa!
Если не обожаете, пишите нам, нажимайте.
All right, that's more like it. Everybody calm down. We return to normal. Spirit, a dominant victory on Mirage. They return the favor, take their own map pick. A little bit of a risky pick going into a strong map for Metizport, but they proved they could handle the pressure, and they're going to force us to map 3. But gotta be pleased, Bubsky, with the way they bounced back after map 1.
Yeah, I think everybody expected this outcome when they saw Metizport was going to go up against Spirit, and certainly after winning first map, I was a little bit worried on the side of Spirit, but you just said it yourself. Nothing to be too worried about yet for Spirit. They actually do it really comfortably, and I think we also spoke about we wanted to see a little bit more from Shiro and to some extent also Suntex, and they simply delivered.
Yeah, they really did. Good performances from them. Donk, we always know is going to be up there, and little old Magic's down there. I think that one puts him at like 9 kills for the series so far. This time not due to just getting beat up, just due to the fact that his teammates were doing all the work for him. So he's had a pretty chill day. Not really a whole lot to speak of in the positives for Metizport in this one. Not able to string rounds together on the CT side. Not really enough runway for the second half. And yeah, this really was all Spirit start to finish.
But if you were to lose, right, I think it's fine for Metizport to actually lose comfortably so they can actually save a little bit of energy. It's been a long day, right? The clock is ticking and it's not really early days anymore, so you're really running low on batteries. But I would say Metizport probably have an advantage here, right? Both geographically, they're a little bit closer to what normal schedule times is, but also on the fact that they're used to this environment. They play so many online games on weird-ass points in the game, so it's completely different from Spirit.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't help them at all in Mirage. They played 23 maps in Mirage in the past 3 months. Spirit, they've played 9. This was their 10th. So even kind of those overwhelming reps on the map didn't really get to do anything for them. But look, Spirit's one of the top 3 teams in the world. They're one of the best teams in the world. Simply outclassed them there. Let's just look ahead to this 3rd map. There's one more chance for Metizport to qualify for London, to complete this Cinderella run from start to finish. The upsets they've had along the way, the surprise victories from day 1 on. It all comes down to Nuke. It all comes down to just 1 map left in the Showdown.
Yeah, and I mean, you should start with the knife round, right? Potentially winning this can mean the difference between life and death in this tournament, and I'm probably over-exaggerating a little bit, but I think starting on that CT side will be very important for Metizport to get some momentum. I would be really scared to start on that T side going against Donk and Yard. Like, you get so little space with this guy. He just takes all duels in the outer position, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can actually chop their way out of it.
They might not get a lot of space even if they start on the CT side, because Donk's attacking outside as well, so it might not be the most fun in the world. But I guess it also comes down to if you're Metizport and you're ZTR and you're trying to cover the game plan. I mean, Nuke can be such a tough map to navigate, especially for young teams playing at a higher level. Are you throwing any tricks into this to try and exploit it and try and make things a little bit difficult for Spirit on defense? Are you trying to use the verticality of the bomb sites, drop into vents, or are you playing a more standard game of, take outside, see what you can get from there, and let's kind of find a way to connect the pieces?
I do think Nuke is a more util-based map, and that also results in being a bit more anti-strat heavy. I think this is where really the Abdi, the coach of Metizport, can really show their worth, right? He can show small gaps. I know it's been hard to counter Donk. I think we've seen countless of teams trying that phase. Falcons, nobody's really succeeded with it, but maybe they can find a little bit gaps, maybe on the ramp position in the likes of Sontex and also on the A side with Magic. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can actually do their homework and actually make a game here on Nuke.
Yeah, I think that'll be the interesting one. And I mean, again, you touched on it right when we came out of the map. Shiro was someone that we wanted to see a good performance out of, even to get them to Nuke on a map on a map like Nuke. That Opera can have a huge impact with his mobility. So we'd expect to see Shiro, I would imagine, getting aggressive towards ramp room, peeking over the smoke walls outside, getting aggressive outside, door picks. This op can wreak havoc in a world where Metizport doesn't really have like the same level of impact out of their op position.
Yeah, and you said it. I love that you pointed out, because we've spoken so much about CTR as like this great young IGL sharing a little bit of experience to the other guys. Then we have the twins, who's also been doing really well. And then we have the one to watch in the form of Nilo, right? We haven't really said Jaquinho's name a lot, but I think if it were to go their way now, he has to find his way into a game, right? He really has to deliver to a point where we feel like, okay, he's going to make or break some rounds. There's a lot of potential on the CT side, potentially starting off ramp, going into the hot position early round, right? So he's really going to dictate the game on the CT side. I just hope he's going to have the option to have the AWP a little bit.
If we want to touch on Nilo for a second, because he's a name we've been bringing up all week, and obviously some potential there. This series today has been a little bit quiet from him as well. You know, nothing bad, nothing great, but he is kind of one that's hailed to be one of the great Swedish, you know, rising talents that can cause waves. What do you? I mean, what's your opinion so far of how he's played? What's your expectations for him going into the third map?
I think he's done reasonable. I don't think he's exceeded our expectations by any means. I think everybody knew he was one of the ones to watch. I think 6 players pointed him out in top 20 to be the next big thing, right? I think that says a little bit about what people expect from him, but it's going to be a lot of pressure for a young guy, right? He's not really used to these types of games. He's not even full-time yet, so I think we should wait probably a year and then see where Nilo is. I wouldn't be surprised for him to sit on the biggest stages a year from now on, but his first experience and first touch with Tier 1 Counter-Strike, I think he's doing fine.
Yeah, for now it's enjoy watching him on the rise, because, you know, maybe a year from now he's going to be popping off. I guess now the other hurdle that I think Metasport's going to have to contend with would be the idea that, you know, they're close to victory. Like, what if they actually get down to the stretch and nuke and they're up like 12-10 and they have to win, you know, one of the last 2 rounds? We saw them on day 1 in that upset win over Falcons. ZTR even said in the post-game interview, a little bit of nerves crept in right when they're on the verge of winning, and I mean that's going to hit even harder here today when a win means you qualify for London.
100%. It's going to be the small things if they're going to have a chance, right? They're never going to win like 13-0, right? So it's going to be close game if they're going to do it. And those small mistakes can be really costly. If they don't really get their nerves in check, I think online Counter-Strike will help them a little bit in this setting, because it is a little bit more calming sitting at home. You can even, I think Matches had that old reference of drinking Coke in his old room, right? Maybe they can use a little bit of that on Metizport side, because I think it's going to be a difference maker. If you're not stressing versus Spirit, you at least have a chance.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we're going to see. 1 map left for the young Swedes to show their mettle and test their limits. This is a big task to ask of them, and they're just coming out to get them blown out on Mirage. It all comes down to Nuke. Final map of the Blast Premier Spring Showdown decides who goes to London. It's Spirit or it's Metizport. We'll find out right after the break.
Welcome to the Blast Spring Final. Hell yeah. I'm ready. I'm excited. The stage is set. Who's going to lift that trophy? No! What is that? It all comes down to the next 3 maps of Counter-Strike. All right. Okay. And he can't believe it. Oh my God.
Yes, sir. The OVO Wembley Arena awaits. We're going back to London. Counter-Strike is better when it's in London. I feel like that is a crowd that's a little underserviced, and I can happily say I'm looking forward to it. Right? Great city, great people, great crowd, and turning out to be great teams as well. This one's big for Metizport, and it would just be another drop in the bucket of recent success for Spirit. Very important map 3 coming up on Nuke. It is the final map of the final match of the final day of this showdown, where everything that could happen has seemed to happen. Every upset you could dream of has, well, happened in front of your very own eyes, but this one feels like a bit of a stretch. Spirit surely locking in London,
I think, right? So. I would give it to them for sure on this map. I think when, going back to the feelings of watching Metizport play against the Falcons and seeing that, one really outstanding CT half from Nilo, a lot of things went right, but they also came clutch, and ZTR had great calls, but it really took every sort of ounce that they had in them. And the Falcons, there's some doubts about them. Spirit, not so much, so we'll have to see if their nuke falls off today, but 2 early kills answered back by 2 from Susp leaves this in a dubious spot. Who knows who's going to win this pistol round, but Zontix finds a way out of upper.
Undoubtedly dubious indeed. Down the vent he goes. Nilo sees that as an invitation. Okay, we're getting real passive if Chopper's watching the roof ladder. But he also needs to buy time for Zontix to start wrapping back around Secret. So we've got time to play this out. It's going to be a nice slow pistol. We're not always privy to the slow burning pistol rounds. We'll take it 3v3. Keeping it quiet inside of the lobby. Jaquinho and Nilo close enough to trade off each other. Magic's just kind of operating on his own until Chopper comes in through the entrance too. We got a 2v2 queued up here towards Squeaky side. Magic's right into the Berettas. Clean shot from Nilo, goes in and gets himself a second heaping. It is Zontix still stuck downstairs, 30 to the clock. Might as well give it the old college try. And if you can get the kill back Squeaky, then the ball's rolling. But it's a nice tap. Jaquinho and Metizport with the CT pistol.
Yes, sir. Okay, wait. Let me go check Metizport's nuke and explain why it is the case that they will, in fact, win. Right? The best argument that I can come up with here. They beat Preezy on this map. They beat VP Prodigy on this map. And they played this map in the last 3 months 12 times. So they play it a hell of a lot. Or about 10 here in the last 3.
Never a better time to put your best foot forward.
Yes.
Safe to say, biggest game of Metizport's lives. ZPR holding it back with the MP9. Clean sweep of the attempt here out of Spirit, but one, of course, that wasn't much of an attempt with not much of an investment. Just good for the SMGs to milk it for all the money.
And I think we had like a air of fogginess about Chopper's calling the other day on Anubis when they played against Big. That's, I think, a way in. If there's something like that happens again, I'd be like kind of wondering, all right, what's going on here? Donk's confidence getting a little shaken here and there. Maybe it's possible. Metizport already taking down some big dogs in this tournament. It would just take so much magic, though. I mean, they're 10 rounds away now. Well, Moti, but 11 rounds away, right, from like making it happen, sticking the landing after already getting their just desserts and their dues, excuse me, versus Falcons. That was like almost enough. But here they are on the doorstep to the UK.
And we will spare no expense. If Metizport qualify for London, we'll make sure King Charles himself rolls out their red carpet.
Yeah.
We'll get Boris to do the team introductions on stage. And I'm not talking about Magic. Shot at a chopper. Deep one towards Garage. So starting to peel apart these CTs as they went into the lobby for info. They also opened a window outdoors that Spirit started to slip through. Adam B operating on his own here to try and go and join the ramp player. This is an underserviced A site. And it is one that Spirit are about to sink their teeth into. Everybody downstairs prepped for that secret to B play, but nope. It's a redirection out of Spirit, and it's one that nets them around for free.
Yeah, that's very hard to follow, basically, right there from Spirit. That was a... look at this. I mean, everyone goes downstairs. They are completely avoided, so... This is one of those situations that shines a light on what makes Nuke so difficult and what favors the favored team even harder. And, okay, Chopper gets caught off in the back. A big Garage. Hero protects the guns. Taking 2 with him. And enough to want to save here for Metizport, where Chiquinho and Suspel chill on the ramp.
This was their bonus round. They get out-rotated. Nicely called by Chopper. Terrorists win.
That's something that's been happening a lot for sure, is like when you can come up the bend, it just takes such coordination. You just don't see everybody trying it, but that moment where you come up the vent is the most unnerving ever. Like, there could be someone opposite vent. That's definitely not cleared in that situation. There could be someone in Squeaky. That kind of foils all your plans. But if you do get away with, oh, we just had multiple people downstairs and the CTs know it, into coming up the vent and no one's there, like, that's just beautiful. Like, you're probably so proud of yourself. You know, you really just fooled them. Other teams so badly. They vacated A.
Setting themselves up with some early runway as well, right? Keeping all that money in the back pocket, Spirit. Let's see if this follow-up, guns v guns, full-fledged weapons, be pieced together as easily. Zontic's the highest rated player in the series right now for Spirit. Even despite that loss on Vertigo, he slips into ZTR. Doesn't cost him a point of health. That gunfight so one-sided. Adam B faces nicely done sliding in, but he thought he had something to work with. Zontix is just leaning back and allowing him to come in. So 5v3. An attack into the A site set up. We get that secondary support system in Nilo. Vent players presenting a fight to him, and an AUG that's now stranded back site. He's lost his rotator, so he's got to do it all, and he'll die with nothing. It is 5 members of Spirit standing as they tie this one up early.
Yeah, that one's a little bit scary. I mean, it's such a perfectly played default there from Zontix. He's like, oh, I'm a little quiet here in lobby. Let me perfectly clear every angle to kill everybody who's pushing inside, and reads both pushes. This is Metizport not getting a kill, which just is such a boon to the T economy. This could be a landslide if they're not careful right now. They need to at least get a couple of kills on a round like this. The counter to the counter.
Perfection. And that nade actually, softened up the next player too. We were watching that from backside, so I didn't see where the other kills went down, but that is just all of Spirit ready for the fight in A. And now there wouldn't be much of a fight. Metizport back to the pistols.
Yikes, yeah, this is like, look at the amount of potential for Spirit to just make money here. There's almost nothing to stop this. Almost 5K on every player. After no deaths last round.
Try to get frisky in lobby. They'll find Zontix with his back turn, but he's got a pack of players with him. Trade potential real high. Desperation out of the counter-terrorists as they try to shred through smoke, but that's Spirit's expected 3rd round win.
Yeah, so at least 1 kill. At least. But now we're looking at 2, 3 full rifle rounds for Metizport to get through. just to earn themselves an eco on their CT side. There are more fun positions to be in.
Yeah, like being qualified for London.
Yeah, just get it over with.
Nades on him. Tough stuff at him. Zontix gets caught on the door on the exit of Hut, so good damage out of the top Hut player, but Donk double headshot.
He just waited for that. He waited for that swing, like.
Ooh, and
oh
Rogue
my
just
god.
popped low. I mean, as if this could go any worse for Metizport. The rotate already been found out. They're gonna chase this down too, right? They don't want the save happening. Look at the killer conviction on that follow through on the A play. You know, and with no disrespect, like Donk, his multi-fragging has left a lot to be desired in this series, and now in this last round, I'd say that's the glimpse of what we all come to expect.
Definitely, yeah. Slower starting. We just became so incredibly numb to his potential that it just seemed like how could he not get 2 kills on every single round? But even if we see that, even if he gets it, you know, 1 every 3 rounds and just his 1 kill average, that could be more than enough. Oh my god. Wait. Oh my god. Neil actually jumped up top forklift to avoid getting knifed. He would have got sliced up. That's how you know he's the new Swedish GOAT.
Man. Sharks swarming the life raft. Just gets away from it. Donk and his sharpened teeth just making mincemeat of the A setup. 2 headshots in an instant. But can't clear that last gun from the board. So back to the pistols, unfortunately for Metizport. Definitely not the defensive half they wanted to kick off with. Still one that could reclaim some rounds, but very clear that it's going to take something of a T side too. Already Zontix, damn, wasting no time. Out to the smoke on Squeaky. Mac 10 outer, shredding another. Nilo will kill 2, but stuck behind the AC unit on the rooftops. Chopper straight beneath him. Will die as well. 3 deaths, setting up something sketchy. Zontix, I mean, he's locked into this fight. He is stuck behind this box. And he's going to try to keep himself as small as possible, but they're coming at him from 2 different angles. Kills Nilo first, the Deagle trades, and the clutch is on. This would be a 3-piece from Susp. But he's given his position away with the vent drop.
Yeah, no chance that's happening. Susp. Magix is just playing this as standard as possible. Best position to be in, really.
Slips out to close it. Yeah, nicely done. Zontix serving up enough of a distraction, even if he felt like he was dead on that box. He stopped them, slowed them down for another 5 seconds, and let Magix do his work.
Mm-hmm. It came close, but at the same time, there's just this feeling, right, that like Spirit don't really care. They're happy to take every engagement this round.
Throwing caution in the wind with some of those fights, but feeling like they've got what it takes to still close it. And
they actually have so much money now that they have to be worried about, like, they're wasting money if they don't send players out to die on rounds where they rebuy. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of money problem they have.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Juro, tu é Tilda, acho que talvez tu queres. You are a noob. Showdown lembrou-te que a Rússia e a Ucrânia same language.
Donk looking for somebody to overstep, but you know, feels like Metizport at this disadvantage this early, they're a little muzzled in terms of risk taking. So they'll just lean on the site and hope they can hold off. Donk, oh, the snapshot up is disgusting. No second from him, but Shiro's so fast with the trade frag that things go well. Sups, nicely done to keep half his health up and standing tall inside the heaven, dodging the nade and the threat that exists down beneath him. Jacquino's in a tough spot. And Nilo still smoked off. But Magix right there, clipping his wings inside of main. Now it feels like Jacquino's hand will be forced, but that kill from Susp is huge. It gets Jacquino up from the ladder. You've got 2 sets of eyes staring towards heaven. Molotov on the plant, and Susp goes huge this round.
Wow, shout out to him for that. That was a great round from beginning to end. And the play to get Jacquino out of the vents, on top of that, Molly helping out the Heaven player. It is one hand washing the other here with Metizport. Beautiful stuff all around as a unit.
Chat.
There we go. Bit of confidence to work with before it becomes too late. But Zontix, looking for that second one, will fall to Susp. Another round that he's trying to hang on to for dear life. 4v4. Outer under question with this wall of smokes. But there's not a big pack of players behind it, just the one and only. Donk's going for Nilo, but Nilo on the garage, right ahead of it, delivered a kill for free. Next up could be the squeaky peak. MP9 now down to 20 shots, and it's empty-handed out of Adam. His rotator is sus. Now with the op up in heaven, his brother having to do both the lifting. But there's no jump on this. Spirit, they kind of stutter stall for a second, and then as they come out, they catch Nilo in the open, and that op was off its spot. ZTR's waiting for his chance to strike. AWP softened up down to a third of its health, and ZTR hasn't really been given his chance to just come nonchalantly flying up. And as he tries to, he'll be caught out. No kill towards Vent this time to make that ladder peak easy, so it's Susp to walk away with the AWP and Spirit to nail the 6th.
Yeah, and the cup is just overflowing with funds right now still, so Metizport really just wanted to grasp this round if possible, but an awkward situation similar to the one we had previously, except Spirit simply win this time around, keeping the opulence high. You can see that sometimes Jacquinho on these angles, like he can fall to wide swings. It feels like Zontix knew there was an op this time. It was like that previous round on B Mirage, or maybe he was expecting the op. He just felt like he could wide swing and just kind of donk it, if you will. He was the guy challenging operators with the rifle at all Cato long.
Now we're getting into a very desperate territory for Metizport. A Spirit get right back to winning ways. Instantly in with the man advantage too. Donk getting his revenge on Nilo for the last round. Zontix just gonna let everybody else go work this time. He's back in his own spawn, because everything goes swimmingly here for Spirit in round 10. Jacquinho doomed. Oh, actually gets able to cross over while smoke's still up. But teammates being shredded limb from limb.
Hero leveling up live, and Spirit have just Adam to find, and I mean, he's got an MP9 to stop this. I don't think Spirit think they can lose at this point. Yes, they let it get to map 3, but with Nuke waiting for them, it's pretty clear their confidence was high.
Donk will not give you space to save, brother. I'm sorry. Every corner will get checked. Every room will be cleared.
It'd actually be scary listening to how many just running footsteps he takes.
Yeah.
And knowing that you're going to get target clear no matter what angle you're on.
Yeah. You know it's him. You know it's him.
Yeah.
The talent runs deep on Spirit, but the aggression's another level with him.
Yeah. That was the other crazy part about Cato was the one point, that record set without an op and as an entry, not as a lurker, not as second or third into trade. The entry, that's something else.
They're going to try to take it to Silo. Donk a step ahead of that. Reads him like a book. And posts the 5v4. This kid just feels unstoppable. He feels like he's 3 people sometimes.
Yeah. Remember, that's the compliment I used to give Nico, that he's kind of like 2 people?
Sure.
Got Donk feeling like 3 people.
Yep. The amount of pressure through smokes. Because again, he's not shy, right? He'll run, he'll throw nades, he'll shoot that gun ahead of time. Peek out next to Hut.
Wow.
Double kill up to heaven. Nade for the 3rd. Magic's just the homing missile
Christ.
with ZTR's name on it. What can you do? I mean, what can you do when you peek out for heaven a millisecond in the bomb site and you're dead?
Yeah, they can't stop Squeak at all. It's just all those headshot angles, and they have just perfectly layered attack over top of Tetris boxes, covering each other. Instant headshots on the first guy. They're never losing one of two duels. The simple answer is, I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do in that spot. I don't think anybody really technically has that answer at the moment.
Chance to save again. There's been no wiggle room offered up by Spirit. No respite from the pressure. The consistency into this A site. You know, shout out Sus for managing to do what he did that one time, because when you contrast that to the amount of success that Spirit have had on that A site, it just really goes to show how difficult of a 4K that was to pull off.
For sure. Good point.
Spirit's so consistently strong in hitting upper, and Sus, the one shining star that remains right now as this CT side from Metizport in the deciding map to London is one that has left a lot to be desired. They're going to get aggressive into the ramp. They want this fight. If they can't stop it when it comes to them, then they'll try to take it into Spirit, and they'll pay the price. Donk and Chopper getting the man advantage set up. Donk with a missed bottle. The Watch is just going to swoop down on this kill, no doubt. They've taken over lobby, but what else can they do with it? That's the big question here for Metizport. 4 rounds, the best case scenario, and you've got a claw back man disadvantage. Nicely started off by Adam there. Shaving Chopper as the smoke fades. No doubt this one's doable.
Bomb about to get scooped up as a CT comes to check the crime scene, but Magic's dips for cover, and soon it'll be a commitment outside if he sticks around red. Oh, but there's this lurk from Shiro, man, and Magix gets his kill on Big Garage. That'll unleash him. Sus alone. And as you mentioned, his brother casts a great shadow, you know, in this team, especially in this tournament. He's been doing so well, but Sus having a hell of a time on this map for what it's worth.
Fortunately for him, not worth too much. Worth only 3 rounds on the CT side, seemingly. Monumental ask in this clutch with all the util that the T's still have in the setup. Everybody tethered here. Donk just wrapping around to be the insurance policy and not even needed. Shiro to lead the charge throughout this T side. And Metizport, a quick reality check to the competence of Team Spirit. They are mere rounds away, folks, from London. Fur backstab by Stan right when he was trying to come into the play. KNG falls off of the bomb plant, still able to manage a frag. TRK even through the smoke catching Ethan. Stanislaus gonna do the exact same thing, and we are cut down to the 2v2. They know where Taco's at. He gets tapped. Breeze doing it dirty, and Fallen, he's trying to flank. Oh, he saw Stanislaus. He knows everything, but he can't give away the audio.
This is his one
Oh,
chance.
again, just getting around the corner. If Stan goes upper shelf, he's dead. Stan had to go down ramp.
Oh my god!
Whoa. Oh! What? Oh! No!
No
He
way.
gets away! Fallen's gonna give chase. He's already down on the bomb site. Stanislaus runs to the other side. Breeze, low HP, now out from Z. 40 seconds. Fallen, just tunnel vision, and he walks right into Breeze. Stan's just sprinting for his big brother to come help, and he hides in order to get it. Unreal.
Needs those extra wide door frames.
4-3 door frames.
Alex gonna push himself up close smoke. He's already succeeded in killing a player within the apartment.
They're sharing a spot here. This is unbelievable. Are they best friends or enemies? Why aren't they shooting? It's because of the smoke when it comes up.
Oh.
We'll see. This is the reaction time test of the century. Holy crap.
And Grim, no, he gives up the cross in order to play the little pit instead. Perfecto didn't notice that Elijah's gun just came out through the wall. And then we get the jump down into the pit. Elijah is able to at least get one. Simple cuts off the rotate. Elijah still fighting tooth and nail. 8 seconds, and Simple clears the bomb site with the fire. And I don't think there's time. The Molotov against Electronic for Liquid's 11.
No way. He runs through that. It touches him on the Achilles, and he hits the ground with the bomb. Damn, what a way to go out.
They need to recover that bomb. Bear in mind, it's behind the double doors. Crimbo, though, one of the best in these sort of clutch scenarios. He doesn't read the Yabby. It's right behind him. And it's going to be Mantu, left with 18 points of health. Thrust into a very uncomfortable scenario. Thankfully, he has got 40 seconds here, but the bomb still needs to be scooped up behind those double doors. One bullet would take him down. Does he just run towards A now? Hope for the best?
Maybe.
Might not have time to do so. Has to go B.
Yabby, it's the right call, but you have to trust it as well. Mantu, the pressure is on. 15 seconds left. If he fails this one, could be the end of the tournament for Big. It's coming up. There's a bit of a grenade around the corner. Just a smoke, but Yabby's walking straight through it. Ice cold. No! Oh my God!
He did up Henry! Why does that keep happening? What an absolute blunder. He guarantees the round. He's got everything going in his favor, and for some bizarre reason, he jumps.
It's another dominant showing out of Spirit in the run to London. Honestly, it is nice to see one of the favorites remaining consistent as this event has gone on. The last ones, the last 2 teams, in fact, competing for the spring finals in the United Kingdom. Mohan, Spirit putting forth a hell of a T-side.
Yeah, this is... Well, it was really great. It was fun. It was super fun to watch. It was fast. It was exhilarating. It was Donk. It was Shiro. And it was hard. It was hard for Metizport, whose veto doesn't run quite as deep. Hard that after grinding their way to get to the Showdown in the first place into getting all the way to the finals, they got to go up against Spirit. Hard that they won a map in this series and now are actually 4 rounds away from losing the entire thing. But it's not over till it's over. So maybe they can continue to make some magic happen.
Rough. But if Donk chases and makes sound, then Adam B can be queued up for something. Jaquinho's going to hold off the secret rotate, and this is man advantage Metizport with plan. But you've got Donk to deal with, and
that is
one bullet.
Crazy, man.
3. He just starts tearing heads off the majority of the players alive. This was man advantage Metizport. Now it's 3v1. Now it has to be ZTR. Because Donk has decided enough's enough. He will be dropped, but the trade frag straight there, and it is Spirit to the 10-3 lead. What can't Donk do?
That is just mind-bending, dude. He just walked out of the vent. He's aiming in the middle of the hallway. The middle of the hallway with a T coming in his direction. And yeah, he knows he's in that area because his teammate calmed it into that kill, dude. What?
Laser beam.
It was a shoulder peek for 1 bullet. That's the only thing he was going to try before he dipped out again, and he hit it right on the dome.
He fires lasers, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not been the only one. All across this event, in fact, we've had some pretty crazy highlights. It's a last chance to remind you guys, at Blast Premier Highlights on YouTube is where you can watch all things Upset City, as this event has had more than one memorable moment. I can guarantee you Shiro's knife will get it added to the collection.
True.
And anything Donk does, he seems to spin gold day after day.
Oh, remember this round versus FaZe at Kato versus these smokes. Just the timings as well. So in tune with it. Oh, my, there it is. There it is, man.
No chance, huh?
Yeah.
No mercy is the Donk motto. Chopper, he'll be tested, but it's a good fallback. You know ZTR's coming at him. And this is just going to set up Zontix to be the anchor inside B. Shiro behind them from Secret. And we'll see if Zontix can post something of a hold here. Sure enough, closes in on 2 of them. One hand's busy with the bomb, the second just lining up and making this way too easy. So that is no plant, and in the follow-up, no money.
Yeah. Extraordinary on the timings, playing his positions. And Zontix getting better just gives this team like such, you know, sort of a long-tailed future along with Donk, right? They just have bets on all these guys who are very young as well, not just very good or in their primes or anything like that. So, yeah, I feel like day by day we watch Zontix show us new things, get better, and just have cleaner play styles.
I'll say as well, I think this is also a very hungry team, right? You know, Chopper tweeting, shout out to Zeus, saying he's not going to quit until he wins the major. Somebody who has touched top 8 alongside Magix, you know, and it's one thing to never make it to the playoffs of a major. It's another to get there and then have your dreams crushed. So surely those two alone are motivated. Then you talk about Shiro, who went through all the tribulations of Cloud9, you know, has had an amazing peak in terms of individual level, but not quite the accolades with it. This is a team that has real potential now, bigger potential as they all grow older and gain experience, and motivation out the wazoo from top to bottom. So sky's the limit, and locking in London would just be another opportunity for them to try and collect trophies this year in 2024. They've already got a big one in the cabinet, but I think there's plenty of space at the Spirit office for more. Fast play. Metizport thinking they could just challenge it to the A hit. It's going to cost them everything. And when I say everything, I mean their Showdown life now on the line. A desperate gamble to try and take over the A site, but Spirit holds strong.
Yeah, this is a masterclass so far. I mean, it's been easy for them. Show a strength, and they end on such a potentially good note before, you know, the big tournament of the year for them. The biggest tournament of some of these guys' lives, and maybe their best chance at the biggest tournament for some of these guys' lives. And then they'll have London to follow, another major event with some of the best teams in the world. It would almost be a shame, obviously, to not have Metizport there is a shame in and of itself, you know, but everyone who made the upsets happen at the Showdown followed through all the way to the end. Even OG, and not being able to have Heavy God also played well versus Saw, who were played amazing CS throughout this event. So it's been a very good showing of teams that not just got lucky or had a good day, but had a good few days and showed some very good CS. So, but all of the teams that came down here, it was Spirit that we expected to get through.
Yep.
The team that had 2 stand-ins at the groups that we expected, they'll be fine at the Showdown, even though it's a nightmare to play it. They're the ones that we expected with a full 5. Wouldn't have even been here in the first place.
Look at the difference as well, right, from that group's performance. Look at what's happened for the full team since. Hoisting a trophy. Donk is a never-before-seen level in Kato. And then pulling through. The only favorites that could keep the odds in their favor as Team Liquid and Falcons missing the major and not being able to reclaim at the Showdown, leave a sting on some. It is Adam B to try and keep the Metizport hope alive. 2 kills into the A play. Just getting the peak at the right time, but can Zontix on the lobby lurk bring it back? Oh, nope, not this time. 80 damage, not enough. Adam's still up. Chopper has given us a hell of a performance across the last 2 days. A 1v3 clutch to seal the deal would just be such a testament when this is meant to be the bottom piece of the Spirit squad, and yet his individual level seems at a career high, and he shaves off Nilo to kick this one off. You know he's going to swing for it. He's got the confidence, he's got the form, and he's got a couple flashes if he needs them. Hut player not keeping him in it. One player straight down beneath. And that shot from down under him is where he'll peak. It's ZTR to close what Adam started, and Metizport still have a hope.
Okay, the claw one back. That was good. I mean, everything about that was good there for a Metizport on an individual level. It dealt with a lot. Nice 2-piece here from Adam with the disengage on a Donk. We'll just have to learn if they're only consolation prizes. Still some money to grind down after 7 rounds straight from Spirit from the end of the last half. The boy is just in tune with it.
Oh, and the nade, dude. It's not fair. Oh, no. Okay, Nilo hanging on for dear life by a thread.
Yeah, Nilo like wrapped in bandages, bleeding out of his eyeballs. Like, oh, thank God I made it. Now what?
He's got scurvy, sepsis, the bubonic plague. Time feels limited for the young gun. Picked by an abundance of players to be one for the future. Unfortunately, not enough to hold Spirit back in this one. Donk, he'll be given a shooting gallery in a moment. Numbers coming at him. He's got the support of Shiro too, so Shiro and Donk to look and lock down a ramp room. Are you sure you want a piece of this, Metizport? Missed off shot. M4 picks up a bit of the slack, but leaves a lot to be desired. Incredible double Mac 10 entry. They will lose control of Outer, which opens the secret rotate to B, and we'll have Chopper tucked in control room. Always in control, this Chopper. He lets them slip by.
He saw the gun?
Hold up.
They're clearing him. Yeah, they are.
The third player in sees the barrel of the weapon. Zontix can't pick up both, and now Magix is going to have to try and come through. His best performance of the series. It's a single shot that'll do the trick. Jacquinho keeps it going.
He's got 4 with that as well. Up from 3 frags to 7 now, Jacquinho with a great round. Unfortunately for Chopper, the long barrel that silenced M4 sticking out as he got up into the corner of control. I respect the play. Of course, he could have just taken the one if he wanted to, but someone jumping right by you. How can you? How can you not try to have your snacks moment?
Too tempting.
And Metizport look very much alive about this. And Spirit don't have money.
Go back to the ramp room. Oh, it's stacked. It's stacked with Eagles. Donk, Zontic. No, not like this. From the double Mac 10 entry against Donk and Shiro with guns to now suddenly a 2v2 and Adams low.
And they have a shutoff valve. I mean, Shiro could die right here going for a search. Just to find them. Chopper going into the ramp. This is like quadruple underwater 3D chess. I don't know if the T's are going to walk back into this after some time or go back up, or there's not really any way for them to get guaranteed information. So we'll see if they psych themselves out.
Sweating bullets.
They are going towards him.
Oh my god, at the temptation of just running down the ramp players, of trying to flex that advantage over top of them. They have put him in a spot where a P250 double. Can Chopper pull this off? Adams low, missed shots, and missed shots, not what he could afford here. Of all the highlights Chopper's put forth, forget about that one.
Yeah, honestly, in that play where you're waiting for them to come back downstairs, is that like the best angle you could have taken with like one gun?
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably could have picked a cuter angle than that. Okay, that one's narrow, but they survive. Timeout before the rifle hits here for Spirit. Metizport thinking, I wonder if there's a chance. Again, 13 rounds straight on a comeback versus Monty on their best map just yesterday.
Set themselves up for the A volley of util. It's going to be Magic's tested. Lost his door player as well. Metizport hanging on for dear life and trying to make the most of what's left of this opportunity. You said it best just earlier, right? Anybody causing upsets in the bracket didn't just do the one and done. They followed through. They made it to the semifinals. OG and Metizport having that to be proud of, but Metizport, they don't accept that this run is over yet. Got more than enough utility to go back in with a second wave if A really is their intended target. They've given time for Shiro to come outside. If he sees that outer is clear, then they could definitely justify going heavier on A, and they will with Donk up in rafters. Getting wind of the hit. 3 players out from Squeaky. Now crossing the floor, taking down Magic's first. Donk double kill! He just snaps it down to Susp. ZTR out from hot. Shiro into the clutch. You know this is where he loves to be. And with a flash ahead of it, he could challenge. They've got the time to wrap bomb around the site. They've got a Molotov to keep him at bay. But that would mean Nilo has to put his gun away. And Shiro may not even play it. A hell of an attempt there from Donk. A reminder of his mechanics. That third shot is sick.
That's... No, man. That's not a position you do that in. He was so careful with the second kill. Like, he did it so fast that he could just properly aim for the third. It was just like, I don't know, man. He really does slow down time. That's so insane. That is so insane.
Oh, no. Oof, they get hit.
Yikes, that's expensive. But, oh, the bomb plant, they're fine. They've been...
This third shot.
That's so... Wow.
Not one more bullet shot than he really needed on any of those duels, right?
Yeah. No wasted space. His opponent's POV in demos, when you watch them, it's horrifying. It's just jump scare after jump scare. Just like the last scene of The Sopranos. Instant blackness right there. Just gone. You're done.
Watching the James Donk POV review is when I really felt that. Because he does that, right? Watches it from both perspectives.
Yeah.
You're dead on.
Oh yeah, he has a video watching some POVs. That was before Kato too, I think, right?
You don't see it. You just don't see it coming with Donk. Which maybe is the better way to die.
Yeah.
Over quick, we'll give you that. But this one is not over quick. Credit where it's... Oh! Dog, dude.
Come on.
Can you maybe just give them a chance?
What?
He does things others can't. And he does it more often than you could believe. That is the one AK on the play. Don't forget about it. The one real rifle they come through with. And will he be served up another duel? Adam, beautiful. That is what we were talking about, right? Highest rated player for Metizport coming into this match. That is the type of time to kill that can rebuttal those of Spirit. A beautiful shot to try and keep them in this and to deal with the biggest threat that was on the board for Spirit, right? That Soul AK. But now Zontix creeps out into the space of the dead bodies. There's a player straight up behind him, hiding behind the stairs. He sees the one towards main. Beautiful, clean shot from the MP9, right? You try to do your damnedest, but unfortunately, that was the best thing they had to get a multi-frag. And Chopper's going to need to be desperate as he just swings out from vent. Too much to ask for. This Metizport comeback is starting to come to a boiling point.
Mm-hmm.
It is undeniably real, but it's also an unfathomably long road. 4 more to push OT.
It certainly is. It certainly is. But yeah, they build brick by brick. That's the thing about this team. They have shown it. They have that sort of rare ability to go one round at a time and not panic too much. It's the thing that's just unbelievable is just what Donk has been doing in these last few rounds and like how they can sustain through that. And how many more times will they? You know, because when Donk is having a game like this, it goes until the end of the game. It's not something that happens only for a few rounds and really stops. That was the Kato magic, right? So I guess we're about to find out how much can Metizport sustain, because what the fuck? What the fuck? It's just amazing. I mean, so many people have just like started watching CS again because of this kid, you know?
It's a reason
like
to come
watching
back.
Vintage Nico sometimes, yeah.
God damn. From that triple spray down up on A site to that. You know, he comes in so many different flavors, in so many different positions on every single map. You never know what you're gonna get with Donk, but it tends to leave you speechless. Metizport on fire right now, but now gonna have to do it with the 4v5. Magic's opening up. That was just a shot through smoke in Squeaky. To be fair to Jackinho, he didn't even have a chance. Just caught standing in the fog of the open road. Shiro. He's got the angle, and he's not gonna miss his chance, striking them down. And now finally pulling Metizport apart. He's standing in the open, trying to hold them back out of the sight. He knows that they were gonna swarm him, so he made sure to bring one with him. ZTR burned out of his position, and it all falls on Sus. He who held the heavens, who extended this game for Metizport, is now all that remains. An excellent run from another underdog at the Spring Showdown, the showdown where we got more upsets than ever, but the one consistency is that of the Katowice champions, and Team Spirit will book their tickets to the Blast Spring Finals.
That's it, man. Congratulations to Team Spirit. That is some unbelievable stuff. They finally put out this cigarette that was burning of Metizport. They were incredible all throughout this run. And very up until these final rounds, we saw something burning. I mean, they survived a ton. Full credit to them. But Spirit did what was expected of them. And now we see them in London and start off to a good major.
Congratulations to Spirit, bouncing back from a map 1 loss to return the favor on Mirage and then close things out on Nuke. Spirit qualify